Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to tonight's episode of the ZodWriter Show. I am ZodWriter, and with me, as always, is my grand co-host, that one Carlos, and we also have a special guest joining us tonight, the Ambassador. Thank you very much, Ambassador, for being here. Carlos, thank you for being here as always. It is always a pleasure to have you on the panel with me every week as we try to go through various topics. So how's everyone doing tonight?
I'm doing okay. Can't complain.
So I'm doing well. It's my first week of school. Had a whole round of classes, 3 classes. I actually just got out of one 15 minutes ago, and that's how it's going to be for the next 15 weeks. But
oh, wow, okay,
yeah. So
I mean, considering all that, again, I'm just so thankful that you are here, man. I totally value your contribution and everything that you bring to the ZodWriter Show each week. I'm pleased as punch that you've agreed to be here with me as my co-host, and it means the world to me, man. So I just want you to know that. And honestly, I couldn't be happier. It's always fun knowing that when you're going to do a show like this, that you've got a guy that you can go back and forth with and talk about various things and all these wonderful topics and things that we discuss. It's like, the show wouldn't be anything without valuable contributions. And again, I love everybody that comes on these panels, whether I agree with you or not. I think it's great. And I love being able to have discourse and go back and forth, because one of the things that I think is amazing is there's a lot of people out there that like doing live streams where it's nothing but an echo chamber.
Right.
And to me, I've never been able to rack my brain around that. If you have a difference of opinion and you have something that you want to get off your chest, you have some things you want to say, you should be able to have a live stream and have dissenting voices. People should welcome that, because at the end of the day, I feel like everybody, no matter how much they disagree about something or how much they, are passionate about something, which way or the other, there's always a way for people to find common ground with something. You may completely disagree about the Snyderverse, but you might be able to find common ground on Star Wars, or common ground about not slaughtering animals, or common ground about Republican Michael Jordan from last week. Look, we've got so much that, so much we can talk about and explore. And that's one of the reasons why I always like to leave the ZodWriter Show as an open forum, because I want to have as many people coming on as possible, to state their case and whatever. It's like last week we had a guy that came on the show. He kind of came in and just at random, had a couple of topics he wanted to talk about. We were open enough to allow him to bring out those topics. And I guess he had a pre-planned, response to how he was going to handle people who disagreed with him about the topics that he brought up. And I thought that was amazing. We gave the gentleman enough time to say what he wanted to say, but the problem that I had was that it was like he wasn't giving people enough of an opportunity to give their response properly. And you guys were there. I don't know, what you thought of that. Ambassador, what was your take on that last week?
Well, to be perfectly candid, the guy should have known the forum that he was walking into was primarily a channel that discusses entertainment and geek culture. It doesn't discuss necessarily social or political topics or sports.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
Honestly, I think, well, I appreciate what you do, Zod. You try to make everybody feel welcome. You try to give everybody a chance to voice their opinions and their positions. This particular forum was not the appropriate place to discuss topics of that nature.
Yeah, and it's so funny because it's like I would be open to that kind of a guy coming on a show if the show was specifically set up for something like that. If I was going to say, okay, any topic, anywhere, I would be open to him coming on and saying what he needed to say. Now, Carlos, you were vocal about the fact that made you completely uncomfortable last week. And I'm glad to hear that because I was uncomfortable as well. I sat there trying to figure out what was the appropriate course of action to take. Do we boot this person or do we go along with it and allow it to continue over and over again?
I could elaborate on how I was feeling at that time. One, there's a certain amount of good faith you need to come in with when you're trying to conduct a civil conversation or open forum or whatnot. And he, from the outset, tried to give the impression that he had that when he kept on repeating, oh, I mean, if you guys want, or, if I could do this, I don't want to take too much time. I don't want to intrude, which is, nice of him to say that, I guess. But the more and more he went on speaking, the more and more you see that his mind wasn't going to be changed. He didn't come at this like he wanted to, respectfully introduce a new topic. He wanted to make a political or social or just a controversial statement, and he wanted to incite discourse between us and him and between ourselves. And that's just, personally, I don't like it. You could have a different opinion on that, but
okay. And, Prime, I'd like to welcome you to the ZodWriter show. You are always amazing on every panel you come on, and you always break down the actual factuals, and based off of what you said behind the scenes there, I completely agree with you, man. I don't know. I don't remember if you were there when this dude came on or not, or if you'd already left, because I know you left.
If it was the last one, I'll probably left. But if it was me, from what I'm hearing from everybody, I would have been like, sir, you need to stay on topic. That's not what we're discussing tonight. So either you're going to stay on topic or get the fuck out. That's what I would have said, or get the fuck on. Y'all gotta know I'm not filtered. I don't care. So I'm gonna keep it 100 about it. I'm nice. But at the same time, if a person is not, if a person been listening to the show and they know what you're talking about, they're in attention to it. They just want to have their voice heard. So if you're not trying to stay on topic, either you're going to stay on topic or get the fuck off a panel. It's simple as that. There you go. It's just leaving me. I want to kick his ass.
There's only so much, there's only so much people can tolerate when you have something that you're discussing, and then the person comes in, throws a monkey wrench into it, and adds nothing to the conversation that's being had prior to his arrival. So so on that note, I completely agree with you, Prime. I think it just was his way of trying to overshadow, trying to take over and create issues, like all of us have been saying. And so to me, I will say that, like I said, while I am open to anybody joining this panel and giving a dissenting point of view to the rest of us, I have no problem with that. But it's when you change the topic to something that nobody wanted to talk about, as something that nobody has any interest in talking about or wants to even indulge whatsoever. And for me, whether Michael Jordan is a meat-eating
Republican.
A meat-eating Republican or not, I don't want to debate about it. I don't care.
Thank you. I would have said the same thing.
That's not what my show is about. Right. Listen, I'm gonna eat meat. I'm gonna eat a nice fat pretzel burger from Wendy's. I don't care. That's just the way it is. I mean, the food was made for human consumption. I mean, I swear to God, if you watch enough videos, dude, this is for that guy. If you watch enough videos of animals being slaughtered, you're not going to want to eat meat. You'll become a vegetarian, you'll become vegan, because it'll be set in your mind that that's what you do. But if you enjoy eating meat, you're not going to sit there watching a bunch of videos of animals being slaughtered. It's just not going to happen.
I'm going to put it like that, so that person seemed to watch. I respect people that are vegetarians, and I respect people that are vegans. That is your preference. That's your prerogative. I'm all for healthy eating. But I'm going to put it to you like this. It's nothing like a juicy steak.
Oh yeah! I'm gonna eat that steak. I'm gonna eat that steak, and I'm gonna love the fact that it's real and juicy, and I like my steak to be real juicy and well done. So I don't know, figure that out. But we're gonna take this moment to go to the comments, check out what's going on in the comments section.
Hold it. Did you say you just like your steak well done?
I do.
Yes, me too.
We can no longer be friends.
With everything on it,
no longer be friends. No,
come on, man.
Does not compute. Does not compute. Does not compute.
No, come on, guys. Yeah, listen. You know what? My mother likes her steak practically raw. So let's just put. I'm gonna just go. We're just gonna go there. It's like some people prefer their steak to be well done. Some people, will eat it super rare, and that's fine. But let's go over to the
medium rare, soft rare, well done. Personally, I like my shit dead.
Yes.
Rare. Yes.
Okay, we're gonna take a look here at some of the chat. We got Cisco here. He says I'm in. We got Jacob Luty. Hey, Jacob, how are you? Good to see you. And we've got my good friend, all of our good friend, actually, Dawson, nerdy in many ways. He says, hey, guys, I wish I could join tonight, but got a lot of stuff going on. Hope you guys have fun. That's what we try to do here on this show, Dawson. We try to have fun, which is what I was trying to do when I allowed that guy with his different points of view to come on the show. I kind of thought it would be fun. I had no idea that it would result in the kind of discourse that it did. Let's see what we have here. And then, of course, Carlos here.
That was me. Just a few minutes
something ago. And turn off my camera for a few minutes. Rest assured, I am still here. And he is. And that's I
actually had me.
What we've proved by that, Carlos, is that you are not a liar. So I appreciate that. And we have Noel Martin here. Hey guys, hey, how are you? And we have something here from the ambassador who is upset about well done meat. Nerdy in many ways. And Noel Martin.
I don't like mine like burnt. I'm sorry, I don't like it burnt.
So when you go to a barbecue and they're making those great burgers on the grill, the way me and Prime like our burgers, like charred, like dead. What do you do? You don't eat the burger? You just eat the sides?
No, I'll still eat the burger. Here's the thing. A burger is one thing. A steak is another. Now, if I can go to like a real nice like burger place and they ask you, hey, how you want your burger done? I'll tell them I like mine medium or medium rare. But if I'm going to if I'm going to a cookout and they don't give me that option, that's fine. That's cool. Or anything. If they say, hey, we're just cooking everybody burgers the same way, I'll still eat it. I'm not. But if I'm going like to a steakhouse or a steak restaurant or something, and they're like, "Hey, you want your steak?" I'm like, medium.
Medium.
I don't. You know what's funny?
Since we're talking about the food, see, even though me and Zai like it dead, see, the thing is that it depends on how it's prepared too.
Sure.
Because if it's dead, I don't want it to the point where it's crispy, to the point where I bite it. It's to the point where it's like in my mouth. No, it gotta be tender still.
Agreed.
I still want it cooked, well done, but I also want it tender. And if you get that, if you got both, oh my.
Yeah, that's totally cool.
There you go. That's completely logical. I mean, hey, it's so funny because back in the day when they used to do those steak sauce, I believe it was A1 steak sauce. They used to do A1 steak sauce commercials
A1 and V51,
where they would show you, where they would literally show the steak sauce being slowly poured upon the burger or the steak. And I remember my grandmother used to say, And it's so funny to me because my grandmother used to say, if somebody did that to my steak, I'd spit on them. And I used to laugh so hard thinking about that because it was like, it just goes to show how some people appreciate the flavor of the steak and don't want anything to take away from that.
That is true.
It's you know, so they wouldn't appreciate having it well done.
Yeah,
and then we got Brian, the Master of None here, who says hello all. And then we have the ambassador. I'm trying to go down the line and read all of these because some people have given me some constructive criticism and said that it's important to interact more with the crowd, and I completely agree. I'm thankful to have all of you here, and I want to make sure that all of your comments are seen and heard. So, the Master of None, good to see you, man. Yes, of course. And then we have Rel McMillan saying, "What's up? What's up, Rel? Good to see you." And the Master of None says I'll be back in 1 sec. Yeah, because he was saying he was going to be on the panel. I seen him in the back, so he'll probably be joining us. And Cisco says, agreed with practically everything you said in Sill's stream earlier today, Zod. Yes, we will talk a little bit about Sill's stream earlier, as well as the more controversial stream that Mad Max had yesterday, in which we all had a bit of a run-in with a gentleman who shall not be named right now. And okay, Ambassador.
Please enlighten me, because I'm in the dark.
Okay, well, we definitely will. Rel McMillan, good to see you, bro. Okay, pretzel burger from Wendy's. Yes, Cisco. I love that pretzel burger. I've had it like twice in the last week, and it's just so amazing. I don't know why. I don't know what it is about it. I haven't yet been able to figure out if it's the way that they prepare the burger or if it's just that pretzel bun. I don't know, man. But all I know is it is absolutely delicious. I know this is a strange way to start out a ZodWriter show, but believe me, people, we are going to get to all of the meaty topics today. We've got Jacob Ludi. He says, I just had a steak not too long ago. Yeah, I love steak. Steak is amazing. Noel says, I agree with you, Prime. You'd be wise to agree with Prime because Prime is on point, definitely.
Okay, yeah, I watch Prime's. Go ahead, Todd. Sorry.
Oh yeah. No, go ahead, please. By all means, say what you're needing to say.
All I was going to say is I watched Prime's video this morning and everything, and I was like, this is why I subscribe to Prime. He cuts through the BS and he gets straight down to the horror matter. He was talking about.
I wish that Prime was on that stream that we were on yesterday.
Oh my gosh, he would have wrecked,
because I think that's what we needed. We needed someone like Prime in there.
That retard. Sorry, I know we're not supposed to use that word.
And Manny V says medium rare, and Cisco says medium or medium rare, and Ambassador agrees. And medium rare. I think maybe we'll put up a poll fair, because everybody seems to want to comment on that. See, food is kind of a universal language.
Yeah,
you can find a lot, and that's what I was saying at the top of the show. You can find a lot of common ground. When you bring up a topic like food, you can have two people who completely disagree about everything, but when it comes to those Wendy's pretzel burgers, man. Okay. Jacob Ludi, steak burger. Rel McMillan says, what's up, Ambassador?
Rel, good seeing
you. And that one, always. Carlos, steak, give it to me, mid-rare burger, and make it juicy, not trying to eat a hockey puck. Yeah, well.
Reach. Yes.
And we have, let's see, it's 2:30 a.m. here in the UK. You fellas got me hungry. Well, I hope you've got something in your freezer, Manny, because I know one of my all-time favorite things to eat when I'm up really late and have like insomnia is I'll go to the freezer and I'll get one of those, those pre-made pizza puffs. I love those all beef pizza puffs. And I'll microwave those all beef pizza puffs, and we'll And that'll be what I'll eat. It could be 3 a.m. and I'll chow down on that as though it was a 4-course meal. Amazing.
Microwave.
Okay, and we have
You
or
uncultured
medium
swine.
will work too. Okay, and what do we got here? We got if Prime was on Max's stream last night, that would have been epic. Yes, could not agree
He
more.
He would
would
have
have killed-
melted Signor's brain. What little there is.
Absolutely. And I would like to welcome another important member here to the panel who's eating meat, of course, obviously.
Yes.
Brian, Master of None, it's good to see you, man. You always are a very welcome contributor to all the panels. It's great to see you, man. You were also on that stream that we were on last night, but you kind of dipped out before all the controversial stuff started.
I was. I'm just going to be honest. I've said my fair share about Andy, so I really didn't want to be there at that point.
Yeah.
So it was just an out for me. I was like,
If you
watched the video, I didn't say a word. I didn't nod my head. I didn't gesture. I mean, I just kind of sat there like this.
I completely agree. I think you did the right thing, because people like myself and Ryan Zieverfett were trying to get a point across. We were but it was to no avail. I mean, the guy obviously had no interest in actually properly discussing any topic, and it's really hard because to see Enosh as frustrated as he was too.
I totally understand
about not being able to be a part of that stream. And I sympathize. I understand too, because that's how it is when you have people that are, that don't really get along well with you, or you don't really get along well with them. The people running the stream at the time are making a decision and are saying, look, you're going to have these people are not really good with you at this point, and I don't want to, surprise them with someone who, is going to create friction, because, obviously you don't want it to be a shouting match between two individuals. And I can understand that, because I've had the exact same experience on Poindexter Lounge, where I was waiting in the back once to be on a stream, and I believe Poindexter Lounge had the Nerd Queens on that night, and I waited in the back for like 2 hours to get on that stream so that I could say what I wanted to say. And I guess because the Nerd Queens don't like me for whatever reason, I wasn't allowed on that stream. But I understood why Enosh made that decision, because you don't want your guests to be uncomfortable. You don't want to have
ambush people.
You don't want to ambush people. You don't want to have people upset with you because you're bringing on people that you like that they don't. And speaking on bringing on people that we like, I have to bring on somebody else right now who I really, really, really enjoy. He's amazing. He's the Watchtower. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Mr. Jeffrey Warfield. And it's always great to have you as a part of the panel, Jeffrey. So welcome.
Anytime, man. But yeah, the marketing has begun, and really, that if you haven't seen that Dark Side this shirt that just got released,
I ordered one. I ordered one, Jeffrey. I ordered the charcoal colored one with Dark Side that matches with my black and white motif.
But yeah, that shirt is awesome, man. That shirt is that shirt's fire.
What you talking about? What shirt? The Dark Side one?
Warner Brothers has started selling released Zack Snyder's Justice League material on their DC shop. And we were talking about the shirt. Jeffrey brought up the shirts, which I think they all look amazing. I ordered the charcoal one. I don't know, anything to hype up this movie even more. Shirts like that are awesome.
Well, the marketing campaign has officially started. It started on Sunday, so it's going to be the slow process of it actually folding out. So Sunday was actually the first day. So from here on out, It's going to be from that day all the way until the launch in March. So whatever the day that it's going to come out, which I think a lot of people have already have their theories, there's only going to be 2 days. If it comes any other day within March, I will be completely shocked. But I will be completely shocked if it's any other day in March. If it's not the 1st or the 20th, I'll be completely shocked.
I would hope that it would be the 1st, because the 1st is Zack Snyder's birthday.
Yeah.
And I think that would be a very, very fitting thing for Zack on his birthday, to finally have this movie see the light of day, which I mean, do any of you disagree? Because again, we're about dissenting voices on this show. So if any of you disagree with that, speak up.
I don't disagree. Hold on. If I look at it correctly, if you look at it correctly, I don't know. I have to look at the calendar again. But like I said, the only significant days, which means something for it to actually launch, because Zach is cryptic like that. So with him being cryptic in that manner, it's only going to be on his birthday or the date of Autumn's death. Yes. So that would be the only 2 days that I'm thinking of. All right. So, but with all the, how should I say, all the stuff that Warner Brothers and Warner Media have been doing at the particular time and moment by pushing and moving their movies up, I think it'll be wise now with all the stuff that has came out. I think the 1st is probably the day that it will come out. If I look at the map and I will see what day it is. But you got to remember, Godzilla and Kong comes out officially now on the 26th.
Okay.
That won't look too well if you bring out Justice League on the 20th.
Well, that's,
you know what I mean?
Well, that's the thing. Like, you're looking at it from a business perspective. I'm really more into the logic aspect, because to me, logic makes more sense than business. And to me, like, I think, to me, I kind of already knew that the release month had to be March, because if you actually do look at March in Zach's career, it actually is very significant in his life. Right? Like, most of his movies actually have come out during March, around that month. So the release month to me wasn't a surprise. That was actually what I was expecting. Now,
we had let's see if we could think of them all. We had 300 in March. We had Watchmen,
BVS.
Yeah, right. I remember Man of Steel was a summer. Man of Steel was a summer release, wasn't it? Like,
yes, June, it was in the summer.
Like, it was around Father's Day, because I remember seeing it with my
around
dad.
Father's Day, around that time. Now I just looked at the dates, and I don't want to cut nobody off before I forget. Now I don't think the 1st of March is going to come out, because that's on a Monday. The 20th is a Saturday.
Well, it's a streaming service, so they could drop it on.
But you also have to think about this too. If you're going to do something big and you're putting one of your bigger IPs and your properties out, you never put nothing on a Monday, because everybody's at work, everybody at school. Yeah. You put it on the weekend or towards the weekend, everybody's going to be like, "Okay, let's go. We ready."
So maybe like the second, maybe like on a Tuesday, on that Tuesday.
That's what we're going to be.
Have you considered some people dropping out of work to clear their schedule to watch Zack Snyder's Justice League? Because I actually do know quite a lot of people that have said that they have done that. So
I mean, I'll be off for those 2 days or 3 days or whatever. I'm already scheduled it or whatever, but whatever that is, once I find out what the official day is, and then I'll put it in. I already know what I'm doing. But just from a business perspective and the way it'll be released, just from these 2 days, like I said, I would be completely shocked if it's another day. Okay, but we know it's in March. But if those days don't work, if it's not those 2 days, I would say it would be. I'm just going on the theory. It will probably have to be the 18th. It will be that weekend of his daughter's death, or the weekend of after his birthday. So you have to look at it. The weekend of Zach's birthday is on a Monday. So it will be that weekend. So either way I go, you have to look at it from a business perspective as well too. You don't just drop anything in the middle of the week or the beginning of the week. Nothing does that. You don't get a game on there. You don't get a movie on there. You don't get a book doing that. You don't get a CD on those days. Nothing drops on a Monday or a Tuesday, ever. It's not happening. So
if it does, it's a rarity.
It's a very, very rarity if it does, but ain't nothing dropping on those days because you always want to drop something at the right time before the weekend, because that's where a lot of stuff be buzzing. Because a lot of people are not doing anything. Think about it. Let's think about this. Let's look with social media. Okay. Don't nobody really be on their social media on Sunday and Monday. A lot of people don't start catching up on their stuff until Tuesday, maybe Wednesday. They don't be on their social media all like that. They just don't.
Yeah, for
unless
real.
It's something like unless it's some big headline news and then everybody start looking at it. But other than that, a lot of stuff don't be going on at the beginning of the week. So like I said, it's going to have to be, like I said, on that weekend. So I would probably say on a whim. I still say the first or that weekend. I'm not going to take the first because, like I say,
that's a special day. It's Zach's birthday.
That's a special day. I'm not ruling it out. It's a Monday. That's the only reason why I say it's killing me because it's a Monday. But Zach is cryptic. He would do something. He would do something like that just to do it. But the 20th will make more sense because it's a Saturday, and you can actually release it on that weekend. So that weekend, on that weekend, so the weekend will be a Thursday, which will be great. That'll be the 18th running through that weekend. And then Godzilla will come out the following weekend because the 26th is a Friday.
Yeah. And
that's a good point.
To me, I think it's already pretty much confirmed that it is the 20th because Zach did say that there is going to be a tribute to Autumn at the end of the movie. So to me, I think that's confirmation that it's going to be the 20th.
Okay,
that makes sense. And Double MJ makes a point here. He says you can't expect, let alone convince, ignorant people to understand something or someone when they're already determined not to understand and hate it or someone no matter what.
Exactly.
Absolutely true.
Yep,
absolutely true.
That's absolutely on point. Because you can't change a person's mind when they are already got their narrative and what they believe. You can speak common sense to a person and put it in their face. It's like a woman. You can put common sense to a woman all day. She ain't gonna listen to it. Give it a couple of days or a couple of weeks until she wake up, and then she maybe might be like, but she gonna kill herself to admit she in the wrong. All right.
Yeah,
so they're going to try to keep that narrative, but he's absolutely right.
Yeah, and really to put it home, I know that we're talking about Zack Snyder's Justice League, but this is actually something very interesting that I found out. Someone actually pointed this out to me where he DM'd me this Reddit link of people where he did a little experiment about the ear cut footage that we got to people who don't like Jared Leto's Joker, and I'm going down the thread, and I actually saw this comment that said, I am not a big fan of Jared Leto's Joker, but after seeing this, he looks menacing. I'm actually very, and once again, this is a Jared Leto Joker hater saying this. He said that he is now open to seeing the ear cut with that 8 seconds, I believe, that 8 seconds of footage that we got.
Yeah.
Okay. And you know what? With that, guys, I'd like to welcome somebody new to the ZodWriter show who's never been here. Cisco, welcome. It sounds like your audio is muted. You got to unmute yourself.
That's a newbie mistake right there, man. How's it going, fellas?
Hey, welcome. What's going on, man?
All right, man.
Good to see you.
Good to see you, man.
And we got a nice little comment here. Is this a Snyder Cut friendly channel?
Absolutely.
I want to go around the panel and ask
Absolutely.
each and every one of you. Carlos, is this a Snyder Cut friendly channel?
Absolutely. Yes,
Ambassador, is this a Snyder Cut friendly channel?
Duh.
Jeffrey, is this a Snyder Cut friendly channel?
yes.
Brian, is this a Snyder Cut friendly channel? And Prime, Actual Factuals Prime, is this a Snyder Cut friendly channel? Yes. And so I guess we'll go to you, Cisco.
absolutely.
Is this a Snyder Cut friendly channel?
It sure as heck is.
Absolutely. And yes, we love it. We all fought for it. We all wanted it. And
You all won.
yeah, we all won.
Prime, I feel
Yeah.
you on that analogy when it comes to common sense with females. Man, I'm trying to buy a new car with my wife, and she don't get it, man. I'm done.
Real feels it too.
Yeah. I mean, it's again, we can always count on Prime to give us the common sense, which I really appreciate. Because sometimes it's funny because you can talk about a topic for a long time, and suddenly the common sense perspective of it kind of falls by the wayside sometimes. And with Prime, he'll remind you. He'll let you know. Well, no, there's this, and it's just like, okay, cool, yeah, because sometimes you're not thinking about it like that. What's up, Simon? Glad that you are here. Glad that all of you are here. Glad that there's so many people paying attention to this little podcast this evening. I want to ask you guys a question about, with the Snyder Cut getting ready to finally be upon us sometime in March. When do you guys think that we will begin to see promotion and stuff that's going to point us in the direction of the air cut of Suicide Squad? Now, I personally don't think we'll start to really see anything with the air cut until after James Gunn's Suicide Squad movie comes out, and then they might kind of veer over to that. But I believe that we're eminent to getting that as well, even though it seems like right now WB wants to bury the Snyderverse. They're not in charge. AT&T is in charge, and that's the one thing we have going. I'm going to start with you, Prime. What do you think?
Yeah.
I would say this. I'll make it brief, and because everybody can go. What I would say is this: the campaign for the marketing is already getting going. It's just going to go step by step. But for the air cut, I'm going to agree with you saying, Zod, because I was thinking about this earlier because it was really like jawing at me, and I'm like, wait a minute, because David Ayer just put that clip of the Joker out. He just put it out there.
Yep.
You know what I mean? He just put it out there, saying like, motherfuckers, I got the shit. It's just up to them for us to, get it out here. I got the shit. So it makes sense. But to be honest with you, I would say for the air cut, yeah, it probably will be after James Gunn's Suicide Squad, for the simple fact. Now, I would be grateful if it's before that, but at the same time, they may announce it. They may announce it in the spring or the summertime. They might announce it, but just for it to drop out, I probably would say the air cut we probably won't get that to the end of this year.
I like to think that they would go your route, simply because it would be good promotion, essentially, when they say that, when they're going to say James Gunn, his Suicide Squad movie's coming out, they're going to want people to, be in that frame of mind. And although James Gunn's Suicide Squad is going to be a completely different thing, as promotion, you could essentially use the air cut as promotion in a way. So it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, because I think actually he is onto something, because this is actually what James Gunn and David Ayer both said, but in different contexts of one another, like a long time ago. Like, the gap is actually far apart. They both said down the line that really David Ayer said that he wouldn't that for a Suicide Squad sequel to happen, it's not going to be he really thought about the Suicide Squad as really something that there really can't be a direct sequel to. Like you can have different characters from time to time, like a different squad, but it wouldn't be called Suicide Squad 2. And that's why he said he wouldn't make another Suicide Squad movie.
He would or he wouldn't?
Wouldn't.
Oh, he wouldn't. Okay.
Yeah, and James Gunn also said this also when he was talking when people were saying is his Suicide Squad going to be a sequel to David Ayers, and he said that it's not. He said that it's not a sequel and it's not a reboot. It's more of kind of like its own thing.
Yeah,
So
okay.
it's like each version of the each Suicide Squad movie is kind of like its own thing.
So you could
Self
almost
entity,
say
yeah.
that you could almost say that the Suicide Squad films would be like an anthology of sorts then, because each
Yeah.
one is a different iteration of of that brand. So
Yeah.
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 I would say this though. I'm not saying that James Gunn, it may not be good, but I would say this, and I think a lot of people will agree if you really, really think about it. I think David Ayers is going to be better than James Gunn.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think it's going to be
I'm looking
completely
at it
better.
right
I think it's and that's what's going to be the backlash for it, because there's a lot of not our hardcore fans or the ones that actually watch everything. I'm talking about the general casual audience, because they're going to get a taste of it from Justice League.
Yep.
So once the Ayer cut comes out and you see his real bona fide vision of what it was supposed to be, there's gonna be a lot of pissed off people, because a lot of people really was hyped up for Suicide Squad, and now you're going to see Jared Leto's Joker.
Yep, and
yeah, you're going to see Jared Leto's Joker in the Snyder cut, and that's going to just get people even more hyped up. And with that, we want to mention here, I want to give a big introduction to the Snyder Cut Fighters creator himself, Lord Koj. Welcome to the ZodWriter Show, man. Great to see you again.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Always, man.
Koj in the building.
I'm so hyped up, man. Where do you stand on this, Koj? Where do you think the Ayer cut of Suicide Squad fits into the equation? You think we're going to get it before or after James Gunn's Suicide Squad movie?
I think after. Well, we're definitely going to get it. I think they want to promote one thing at a time. That's what I feel like they're doing. I think they'll get that out of the way. And if people want a second wind, they could throw that out there to get the second wind, because they kind of help each other regardless of what people think of what, I think.
Right. Like we were saying, the idea of it being, my idea of it being each one being in like an anthology movie where it's the same, label, but it's different. It's different iterations of that story. Jeffrey, you had something?
Yeah, and also speaking of which, like everyone was talking about Jared Leto's Joker a little bit. This is actually something that Jared Leto actually said, because you were actually talking about like a kind of like a taste of Jared Leto's Joker from the Ayer cut. Jared Leto actually gave a lot of comparisons of his character in The Little Things coming out to the Ayer cut's version of the Joker, where he's kind of like slow and methodical. So yeah, I'm actually gonna be watching the Little Things to get a little taste of the Joker, as Jared Leto calls it.
I'm with
Man.
I'm with Double MJ here. His comment is, I don't give a damn about James Gunn's Suicide Squad. # release the Ayer cut. I'm with you all the way, Double J. I personally have no interest whatsoever in James Gunn's Suicide Squad. And I may
You
be
know
in the
what?
minority on
I'm
this
right there
panel,
with you.
but I don't.
Nope, I'm right there with you. Okay, first, I hate anthology movies, especially in the day and age of cinematic universes. And I feel like deviating from a cinematic universe could be really, really a bad move for them.
Well, you know,
Agreed.
WB isn't exactly making stellar decisions right now, so we can we could just add that to the list of things that WB is doing incorrectly. Continue, Brian.
Well, it's going to alienate a lot of people who are just going to go watch a movie because it's going to be like, okay, so how does this fit in with everything else that we've seen thus far? And
it doesn't fit in no damn way. It's not going to fit. And not only is it not going to fit in with what they've done before, it's not going to fit into anything after. It's like James Gunn is literally creating his own thing from a completely different era. He's getting a TV show out of it for HBO Max. Let's not forget about that John Cena driven Drek that we're going to get on HBO Max. Once again, another, stellar decision on WB's part. Continue, Brian.
Yeah.
Well, it's just for me, like continuity matters these days, and like Marvel, go ahead, do your multiverse.
They're done. They're done.
You know what?
Yeah.
Let me pick.
They've established it. Their main universe, so they're free to explore. I don't think DC's established enough of their prime world to jump around and go all over the damn place. See,
my thing is that they're not, to be honest, so everybody can have this full perspective. Remember what I said is that the MCU, Disney, what they've done with the Marvel Cinematic Universe is fantastic. The way they did it, you got to remember, they did it for 10 years. Okay, so the way that they did it, the way that Warner Brothers is looking at it, they tried to do the formula. So now they figure, you know what? Let's just do something different. Let's just do entities of movies. That way it'll just be a movie and it's done. Let's just be a movie and it's done. Let's just be a movie and it's done. And what the thing is, and what the problem is that they was going in a great direction, especially with Zack Snyder, because he was only doing 5-movie arc. They could have still went on this path. You could have just did the 5-movie arc and just let it go. A lot of people don't understand what an arc is compared to a universe. It's a very, very big difference. An arc is a story and it concludes. A universe just keeps on going. It don't stop.
Right, because to me, like, this really does go into it where I'm kind of like with all, like, here's the thing about universes, like, here's the good thing about, like, here's the thing when it comes to making movie universes. Like, it's a good thing because you have a lot more content. Props to you, MCU and Star Wars. You have a lot more content, but the major downfall in that is that you'll eventually run out of ideas and just.
I was about to say that.
No. But here's my point. What Zach was doing is kind of like a all good things come to an end scenario, where his arc was so good, but it was so good, but it had to reach an end at a certain point. So it's like,
I kind of feel like, just not to cut you off, Jeffrey, but I just want to piggyback off of that real quick. Some of the best cinematic series in history all have a beginning, a middle, and an end. They don't just continue on forever and ever. So I just wanted to say that the idea that Zach wants his his arc to be special like that, where it can be differentiated from the endless DCEU movies that Warner Brothers is intent on creating.
And before I lose my thought, and with that, just going back to Zack Snyder's Justice League, and I think a lot of people are going to agree. And I think that even with it being the arc, I'm gonna tell you what's going to set this whole thing off on fire once people finally realizes that this stuff was all together. Just wait till the beginning of Justice League start. That's gonna set the tone.
Oh yeah.
That's gonna set the tone. Remember what Zach said, and I thought about this. The beginning of the movie sets the tone. Epic. It sets the tone because what's gonna happen is that he said in the interview with Grace, and he didn't give all the information. We're probably going to see every single aspect on how Superman died from BVS coming in. We're probably going to see Lois' perspective, Bruce's perspective, and Diana's perspective all at once. And people are going to be like, what is going on? They not going to know. It's the same thing that would happen with BVS because people was lost. Why? Because they didn't watch Man of Steel.
Right.
So that's what's going to make people go back and watch it. Because that's what's going to set the tone. Because the beginning is going to be completely different. They ain't going to know what's going on. So, hey, that's why I say the arc process is so great compared to the universe. Because universe is, you just intertwine everything. The arc part is that you're telling the story. He just continuing it and you're getting into the next chapter. That's it. So
because it's kind of like with the Mortal Kombat that starts. So it's kind of like Mortal Kombat's story mode, where once you always start a new story mode, it always of the next game it says it always starts with last time on Mortal Kombat. It's making you understand the events of the last game that led you to the game that you are about to play. And
just like the Lord of the Rings trilogy, they all started with some past story that led up to the certain moment of the film, but they still piggyback off each other.
You know what? I still gotta watch those longer cuts of Lord of the Rings. I have not watched it. I just watched the original stuff.
I think you'll like it, bro.
Yeah, it's
not I watched everything, but I didn't see the longer versions of it. I did not see them yet, so sue me, y'all.
Ooh.
I didn't see it.
Well, that's the fact that there's longer versions. There's longer versions of the Hobbit movies too. So you've got hours and hours of content to sift.
Yeah, and
I'm with Kosh.
And really about the 4 hours thing, it's just really something I just kind of laugh at. Like before I was kind of mad, but now it's just something I kind of like get a cute chuckle out of it, where people are saying that, why is it 4 hours? It doesn't need to be that way. And I actually tweeted this out where I said, old heads looking at Zack Snyder's Justice League runtime, and it had the gif of saying, "Oh, you need to bump up those numbers. Those are rookie numbers." And I have these movies that were made in 2004, and I had this movie that was made in 2004. And it was like, kid you not, 10 hours.
Yeah, there's movies that were long as hell. Like, I want to give people an example.
Particularly religious epics too.
Yes, religious epics
are always super long.
Like Ten Commandments.
For example, I'm going to say this, and I think a lot of people are going to agree. Justice League is, even though it's 4 hours, it's not going to seem like 4 hours because you're going to be so immersed into it. You're going to be so immersed. It's not really going to matter. See,
it's going to be like a roller coaster.
I would give you an example of a movie that is almost 4 hours and is long. I'm a Martin Scorsese fan. I like the Irishman movie. That movie is long and it feels long. You want to know why? Because it goes up and it dips. And it dips, and then it'll just go to an up moment, and then it'll glide, and then it'll dip again, and then it'll go up. So you will know when you're going up and down in the movie, and you'll be like, oh, but you have to pay attention to the dialogue to really understand the movie fully and the concepts of what's going on. Irishman is a very, very good movie. If you're the person that don't like to pay, you don't have a real good attention span, you're gonna get lost. You're gonna have to pause it and then wait. Irishman is 3.5 hours. That's a long ass movie. So yeah.
See, I think films are longer to people coming in who are not interested to see it,
or people
like
who have
longer.
super short attention spans.
Yeah,
which is the problem today.
But the thing is,
even if you
4 hours. Oh, sorry. Let me finish my train of thought. Sorry, bro. Like we play video games, we watch like sitcoms, episodes of Friends, we have marathons. Pretty much imagine your favorite thing and doing it for 4 hours and see how awful you feel. I mean, it's not a bad thing.
It's not.
It's more of what you love to enjoy at the quality that we understand, because Snyder's work is consistent.
Yes.
If you don't like his work, you're not going to enjoy it. Why would you go to a restaurant? You don't even need that.
Coach J hit it right on the head. That's perfectly said, my brother. That's perfectly said.
And this is also just something I want to say. Like I've said this, and I've said this a while ago. I made a video about it, but now I guess it's official that Zack Snyder has officially broken his own record with longest superhero film. Like first it was held with Watchmen with the Ultimate Cut, and now it's Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Hey.
so
hey,
put that in the record books.
but I'm still gonna I'm gonna tell everybody this, but I think it's gonna still be episodic. And I think it's going to be the full movie as well. I think we're going to have both options when it drops. I don't think it's just going to be just a full movie. I think they're still going to have the episodic stuff, and I'm going to tell you why. Because it makes more of a marketing sense. If Zach just put it out there, you will have the option to be able to watch it fully if you want. And
Options
then people should have the option too if they just want to watch it in episode format. Because if they decide to keep it, because you got to remember, they promoted that highly at DC Fandom. I'm talking about they did that highly at DC Fandom. So a lot of people are extremely expecting that. The reason why people are flipping out is because that's what they was expecting was the episodic format. If I looked at everybody's videos and I read a lot of articles and stuff like that. There was a lot of people that are just going to watch the episode, make content, and then report about it. Now you just have a one movie. People are not going to do that. They're just going to do it as a one and done. Some people
my theory, Prime, on why they're saying things like a one and done in 4 hour movie is because they're also planning. The rumors are they're planning to drop it on physical media in March as well. So if you're dropping a physical media product, an actual disc, we all know that once that physical disc hits the streets, the thing gets leaked to the internet, and you're looking at, so I think that's probably why, just the fact that the physical release, if the rumors are true that the physical release is getting released the same month as the streaming
as a movie.
Yeah, usually they release the movie digitally first and then hard copy.
But whoever put that report out, we understand we're going to get the digital copy. We're going to get the actual Blu-ray 4K copies. But whoever put that out saying that it's going to be dropped the same time in March, that's stupid. Ain't no studio doing that. That would be dumb as hell.
It would be.
You setting yourself up for suicide.
I would be shocked, because here's the thing that the one thing that I've learned over the years with that is that if a physical, just let's say for the sake of our argument that Zack Snyder's Justice League is going to hit physical media in March the same time, if that were the case, by the middle of next month, that thing will already be leaked to the internet, because there's a lot of people that are able to get those physical copies ahead of time. Those physical copies have to be done, pressed, and ready to go long before an actual physical release date. So you're talking about a couple of months ahead of time. You're talking about those discs are already ready to go at this point as we speak right now, if it's coming out in March.
Right.
So,
and Prime, really go back on your whole both situation. In a realistic world, that would not work if you were to do it both. You want to know why? Because you're gonna have those people that watch the movie, and then people are going to, and then those people who watched the whole movie front to back in one sitting will be making their reviews, and some will be making immediate, and some people will be making immediate spoiler reviews. You can't deny that.
Well,
People will be making spoiler reviews, so that will then
The negative reviews are already written, Jeffrey, and the movie
they're
hasn't even come
already
out
written,
yet.
man. What I'm saying is you have to look at it from
They
a
sure
business.
are.
You gotta look at it from a business perspective and look at the actual audience. This is why I say the promotion is very, very key. All right, you have to look at it. When Zach put that out there, that changed the whole dynamic. The reason why I say that is this: you got to remember, some people are turned off from long movies. They're not going to even entertain it. It can look sweet all at once. They're not going to entertain it. So you got to remember, fans like us, we don't care. Bloggers, medias, they're just going to do it because they need content so they can write about it, just do whatever the hell they want to do to it. Okay. Or you might have people that go by word of mouth. But the main people that you got to get into are those general casual audience people. Do you think the general casual audience know what's going on right now? No, they don't. So you got to promote it. You got to put it out there. Then once they find out, oh, it's going to be this, I don't know. I don't know if I want to sit and, now if you do it episodically and you do it that way and you give them the option, that gives them the option. Do I want to watch it thoroughly straight through? Or do I want to watch it episodically? It doesn't matter if it's a spoiler. It doesn't matter if they do a review on it. It doesn't matter. Y'all got to think from a logical aspect. They put a lot of stuff into this. They're really trying to push this. So you just can't shortchange the bulk of all entertainment of your money comes from the general casual audience. That's where the bulk of your money comes from. Not the fans, not from the hardcore people. The general casual audience is where you get the bulk of your money. And they are the ones that's really, really, really to gravitate to. If they see something sweet. So I'm going to close this. That's why I say, once they see the trailer and they find out what it is, they're going to be into it. If it's just strictly a 4-hour movie, you're going to turn a lot of people off. I'm not saying it's a bad thing because I'm going to watch it anyway. It don't bother. I mean, all of us going to watch it. But those particular people, that demographic, right? It's them casuals. Those are the ones. You know what I mean? Those are the ones. So if they decide, if it's a 4-long movie, they're going to watch it. But if it's episodic, they watch the first part. They're like, oh, we're gonna watch the next part. You see what I'm getting at? Exactly. Or they'd be like, I'm not feeling it. I'm not going to watch it. I'll turn it off. I'll go to something else. You see what I'm saying? Because if you give them that option. If it just says 4, you got to look at the mind of the general and casual audience, and they do that. I know this,
but that could be a reason too, Prime, why they agreed to just make it a 4-hour movie, because they're not Warner Brothers is not trying to entice the audience, because Warner Brothers just wants to be done with it. That's kind of where it is. But see again, AT&T is daddy. So if AT&T says we're gonna continue with this, then they're gonna continue. And Carlos, you look like you had something you wanted to add to that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, this is kind of like very trivial, I guess you'd say, but like if they were to put it into 2 versions, one amalgamated version and one serialized version, then like how would they format that onto HBO Max?
Right.
Because you'd only have one,
you have that subsection on HBO Max where you click on the movie, and then you'd have the episodes.
So
you have it broken down into episodes.
So like episode would episode 1 or episode 0 be the full movie, and then they'd have 1 to 4 being
what they would do is that how they do it on HBO Max, for everybody that got HBO Max, because there's 2 versions to a lot of movies, because a lot of people they don't pay attention to it. They got the regular one, but right below it they got the extended version.
I never seen
So
that.
right below it. So if they format it right, what they're going to do is, excuse me, they're going to highlight the episodic episodes first. Right below it, you have the option to watch it in the full scale if you want. They're gonna have that episodic. I'm gonna tell you that right now because I'm telling you.
And what if they don't?
That makes sense.
If they don't, then people just go out to.
If they don't, it fits with my theory, which is WB just wanting to bury it, and AT&T is gonna. But see where they're making their mistake is that AT&T is the one looking at the numbers, and they're going to be the ones that are going to say, "Well, wait a minute, this did better than Wonder Woman 84," and you guys are just trying to. And then that's when you're going to end up where heads are going to be rolling, and there's going to be management changes.
And the bad thing about it is that it's going to do better than Wonder Woman 84. That's the thing that's crazy about it. It's going to do better than Wonder Woman 84. It's going to do better than Wonder Woman. That's the crazy part.
Right,
that's the crazy part.
Okay, and Cisco, you had something you wanted to add?
It's interesting the promotion that we were talking about, right, Prime?
Right.
2-3 weeks ago, I've been seeing snippets of HBO Max, right? And it's been saying, what's upcoming 2021. And it says a quick snippet of Justice League, the director's cut. It didn't say the Snyder cut yet. I'm sure hopefully that's changed. But about 2 weeks ago, I've been seeing sit on them. Like, they're showing director's cut. And the casuals, right? And the general audience, when they see that, I was like, oh, it's going to be something. It's going to be the director's cut based on a movie we didn't like. 3-4 years ago.
Exactly. So, and that's why I said with the wording and with them changing it, because Cisco was right on point. It depends on the general casual audience. Like what he said, there's certain things that's going to turn the general casual audience off. When it's saying director's cut, they're not going to watch it. Because if they didn't like it, they're not going to watch it. With
it's
the
still
name
titled for the
change, right? Well, look, exactly. With the name change, and with them changing everything, and with the promotion and how they're going to present the promotion, people are going to watch it. But you got to have the episodic. They got to have it. Now, I understand what you're saying, Zod, completely. I understand that. I agree with you. But if they want to have this to succeed further, you got to take the general and casual audience into consideration. They are hard people to please. I'm telling you.
That's what I keep trying to say. I'm telling you, I'm the way things they're going. I don't think they're going to please the general audience, and that's going to kill them in the box office.
Yeah, and really, to me, like thinking about this, like really,
hurt the numbers.
like really, what I think it all comes down to this. I think all of our answers on this are going to be answered on the next trailer we get. Here's how I think it's gonna work. If it comes out and says, if at the end of the trailer we've seen the WB trailers for the last few movies, talk about the theater, talking about coming out in theaters and HBO Max. Here's my thing on that. That's going to be our answer. If it comes out and says it's going to be in theaters and HBO Max, then to me that's them saying it's going to be them concretely focusing on the movie version. But if they say that it's going to be only on HBO Max, then I think it's going to be both.
I think y'all are right. I think they're going to put it in theaters. They're going to put it as a movie form. They're going to put it as episodics all together and just see where the chips lie. I think there's a faction that's like, let's see what's going on.
Now, if we're going to go
they want to be one and done and see.
Right. If you're going to let's go with this format right now, the way that it's looking. Okay. The way it's looking. It's just going to be the 4-hour movie format, the straight 4-hour movie. Let's just say it's right there, and it's just going to be on HBO Max. So let's just say hypothetically, because there are going to be certain areas that are not going to be able to see it on day one, which is sad. So like Zach said, he's trying his best to see what they can do to get it to everybody day one, because everything is pretty much set up for the States. Everything is pretty much set up in certain areas for the Google Play, for the Sky networks. All that stuff is already set up and the way they got it set up for day one. Now, for certain areas that don't have the access and don't have it, and they can put it in a theater, if they can do that, that'll be great. But we have to find out exactly what it's going to be. That's why I say, for right now, from what I'm looking at, I'm just saying it needs to be episodic as well. It needs to be both.
Yeah.
Yes, to help. What that does, that it caters to everybody on which way they want to watch it.
Exactly.
And we know that it was, and we know it was done like that too. We know for a fact that it was broken up into episodes.
Right.
Zach did do that. So if they don't take advantage of it, they just wasted money, essentially.
Right. Again.
And also talking about the HBO Max situation, this is actually something that a lot of people haven't been paying attention to, but it actually was confirmed today that HBO Max is going to be actually in some other countries now, like Brazil. Like Brazil is one of them, South America, and China.
That's huge.
Yep. Yeah, like that news actually came out today, so I don't know if you guys saw that.
No,
you gotta push that to me, man. Brazil,
they gotta get it internationally. They gotta get HBO Max internationally ASAP.
Hell yeah.
They gotta get it out.
Well, you think about HBO Max and you think about how WB doesn't have their stuff together. Look at how long it took HBO Max to finally hit the Amazon Fire Stick and Roku, the two biggest streaming devices of all time, and they just got that deal together in time for Wonder Woman 84 to come out on Christmas Day.
And they got that international deal done just as the Zack Snyder's Justice League promotion was going on.
Okay.
Like, that is insane for them to do.
Okay, so my thing is, with that being said, and with Jeff, because I already know it's concrete, and what that is, that's a win.
Yeah.
Because the more they can get HBO Max to other countries, that's a win. Because you want to get more subscribers, and you want to get more people to be able to be access to it. Like I say, certain countries can't get it because of some other bullshit. For instance, China can't get HBO Max because their government not gonna let them have it. So their government not gonna let them have it.
No, I mean, like, why? Why? Like,
why?
Doesn't make any sense.
Because there's certain content that's on HBO Max that they don't allow their country. You got to remember, it's a communist country. They censor everything. They censor everything in China. So there's certain stuff. There's certain stuff they're not going to allow. So for China, they got to get China. They got to get that market. So either which way, I think Google Play is in China. I'm not sure. I'll reach out to Fiona and ask her because she knows. But if they still have
Zack Snyder had told her that he was bringing Justice League to China. So the idea would be that there's going to have to be a platform for international audiences. And the fact that they're doing that and they're scrambling to get all that done is good on them. But it's just amazing to me how long it takes WB to come up with stuff. I mean, it seems like they're just clueless. It's like, what are you trying to do? You've got this big bomb of a movie that everybody's been waiting to see, and now you're hemming and hawing over whether or not you're going to have it episodic, whether you're going to have it as a movie, whether Zack Snyder's going to be allowed to continue his arc. I mean, it's just like I don't understand, and this is where I kind of go into other scenarios where I wonder, what does Warner Brothers as a company or the people running that studio, why do they have such vitriol and hatred towards Zack Snyder? That's the big question, because it makes you wonder, like, what did that man ever do to them but make them movies that's going to make them money that people are still talking about to this day, no matter how old of a Zack Snyder movie it is?
You want to know what it is? Because he gets so much respect. And with him getting so much respect, there could be forms of jealousy in every single angle. Just for the simple fact that man does not get one bad saying from his peers. Not one. Now you get other directors or some people that's out there. Yes, they might be tyrants and stuff like that. Zach ain't a tyrant.
Yeah, because really, like going back to this, I'm going back to this one interview that the actress for Army of the Dead gave, where she basically, I don't know what she exactly said for the story, but the story of it was that she thought she was going to be the main star, but then she was like kind of out of focus. So what Zach did, Zach actually gave her this like kind of like Toy Academy Award thing, and that said the best
I remember that.
best focus character. And I really and when I hear that story every time, like I can really see the smile and joy in her face about that moment. Like it's so genuine, man.
Yeah, like, a lot of people go above and beyond for the people they work with, and I do notice a lot of people who hate Snyder haven't worked with him.
Right.
Well, but then you also have the executives who have worked for him and know that he has a stellar
really work with you or against you is the question.
Well, yeah, there you go. They know like I wonder. So that's why it is. I wonder about people like Toby Emmerich and Walter Hamada. You know that type of ilk. I wonder about what makes you feel the way you do. And I do believe there is a certain level of professional jealousy there, but at the same time, it's like the guy is a golden goose. He makes you tons of money. You have people still talking about his movies to this day, whether they love the movies or hate them. They're still talking about them, which is more than you can say for a lot of the dreck that Marvel has put out in recent years. And I'm just going to be real. Who talks about Ant-Man? For that matter, who's still talking about Avengers Endgame at this point in time? Is anybody? I sure don't see it.
Exactly.
Like to me, like, yeah, exactly. Because people are still talking about 300, the original 300 that came out in 2006.
Yes.
Still talking about Watchmen. Still talking about Watchmen.
And if people talk about that movie, about how it kickstarted the popularity of the IMAX theaters, and if you go and I bet you, and to anyone watching, watch any movie that came out this year, then watch 300 that came out in 2006. The aesthetic is like very unique, dude.
Well, Zack Snyder is always at least 10 years ahead of his time with every movie he comes out with.
Exactly.
So that lends credence to what you just said, Jeffrey. I mean, the man is a pure visionary, and that's something that is totally lacking with a lot of today's talent. I mean, I don't care what you tell me. People will tell me, there's some people that stand around and like to defend Kathy Yan and what was the movie she made, Birds of Prey. They like to sit there and talk about, Kathy, she did this, she did that. Her movie is nothing compared to Zack Snyder. Her movie isn't 1/10 of the quality of a Zack Snyder movie. I don't care what kind of movie she's doing. If you're going to defend her just because she's a female, you have problems. And that's where you
gotta also look at this too. The only reason why she got that award, and people just don't look at this, they just don't have the common sense and the logic to think about it. There were no movies that came out, so they gotta pick what's available.
The easy pickings.
Right.
I mean, they gotta pick what's available. So whatever that's available to you. So so what do we do? Well, we don't have that many, so we gotta use this one and this one. So which one should we put in the bracket? Oh, we'll just use this one. So and we'll just use that. There you go. So
they might have done that because
and also like, and really about this, and really just to blow this whole thing up in everyone's face. James Cameron was given an interview about going back when he made Avatar, and someone asked him about really the visuals of the movie and all of that, and James Cameron, who is a legendary director, said that he gives a lot of inspiration when it comes to visuals from Zack Snyder. So a legendary director
a couple times.
And this the crazy, and this the thing too. With good thing you said that too, because for the simple fact, and we was on the top. What I was about to say is that people fail to realize too, we still getting Army of the Dead.
Yeah,
and not only that, Army of the Dead is the birth of a new franchise.
Yes.
Zach isn't just working on one movie here. Zach is working on a franchise for Netflix that he has complete creative control over. Can you imagine how amazing this is going to be?
Right.
I'm going to be honest with you. I wouldn't be surprised if Army of the Dead turns out to be better than Zack Snyder's Justice League. I wouldn't be surprised because this is a franchise where Zack Snyder has not been shackled in any way, shape, or form. He's not dealing with any of the stress or garbage he's had to deal with at WB. There's a reason why so many top talents are flying the coop over at WB. Something stinks over there.
It's a good thing that you said. It's a good thing that you said that because this is going to be the ripple effect. I want everybody to think about this. WB is going to regret letting that go. Because the simple fact is, y'all gotta remember that shit was sitting in their vault for 10 years.
Yep.
Netflix just went there to be like, oh, Zach pitched it to them when they went to the, when they tried to incorporate about Zack Snyder's Justice League. WB wasn't trying to let it go.
Yeah.
But they let Army of the Dead go. They got it. They talked to Zach. Zach pitched it to him, and they said, "Oh, when can you work on this? How fast can you get this done?" That's exactly how it went.
I picture it like this. They had Netflix had one conversation with Zack Snyder, and then the Brinks truck stopped by Zack Snyder's house. The money was dropped on the lawn, and the rest is history. Look, Netflix isn't playing games. Netflix knows. No, Netflix has been around long enough to know that content is king. I don't know what WB is thinking, letting something like that go. But
exactly.
But they're not very bright, and we know that. Right? Cisco, it's unbelievable.
WB felt that they felt that putting money into that or something of that magnitude wasn't worth it.
Right.
That's exactly what they reported in the actual tabloid. They felt that it wasn't profitable. That's why they just let it sit there. They felt that it wasn't profitable. They're going to regret it. And what they have regretted so far, they did the same thing with Joker. What they do, they regretted it. They made over $1 billion.
You would think they would have learned from the mistakes they made with Joker. Joker is a perfect example of the ineptness of this studio. Cisco, did you have something to add to that?
No, just to tie in what you were saying, like the zombie movies, right? Army of the Dead, it's not going to cost a boatload of money. So the profit's going to be there tremendously when it comes out. Like you said, they're going to miss the boat on that, Prime. And like, that's just, how it with Zack Snyder. It's all about rewatch value. His films bring rewatch value.
Thank you.
Let me know who's rewatching Birds of Prey? Who's rewatching Wonder Woman 84? Who's rewatching Aquaman? I don't know. It's not me. I don't know.
You know what? Now Aquaman wasn't completely.
I was going to say I did rewatch.
Aquaman. Aquaman is not completely bad.
No. But what I'm saying are you rewatching it consistently with the kind of level of religious fervor that you have for Zack Snyder's films?
Right. And really, this is just something like that. Like, this is something very unique. Like, can you imagine if I was another director saying, like, who would have thought that a zombie heist movie a zombie heist movie would be something to get hyped up for. Like that, like on paper,
Zack Snyder could direct a movie about a toilet and everybody would be hyped up. Let's just be honest, because Zack Snyder is going to add something to that. He can create a new genre of film called the toilet genre, and everybody would be excited about it. Double MJ makes a great point here. He says, WB don't know what the F they're doing. They hate Zack because they ain't him. They know that they will never make an impact for the characters as big as him and have the respect that he does. It's jealousy. I couldn't agree. I couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more. It's ridiculous.
It's just and back to it. Like from everybody, it's crazy because when they was doing Army of the Dead and stuff that I've read is that Danny Batista and some of the other people that's part of the movie. Once Danny Batista turned down Guardians of the Galaxy 3 to do Army of the Dead.
Yep.
That's huge.
Yep.
He turned down Guardian of the Galaxy 3 to turn down
because he wanted to work with Zack Snyder. Listen, I would be a fly on the wall in a Zack Snyder movie. This is the thing when you have someone who's a true visionary, who has a quality of film and is a true auteur to the craft of filmmaking. You don't turn that down. Dave Bautista is smart enough to know that you will not turn that down because you know why? He knows Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is just going to be another of the same. If you saw the first Guardians of the Galaxy, you saw all three of them. All of these Marvel movies are so formulaic that it's ridiculous. If you've seen one, you've seen all of them. And that's just the fact of the matter.
Now, I will say this. Now, I'm not going to shit completely on the MCU. We're going to see how this actually pans out on their next phase. Because since Deadpool is going to be rated R, this gives me hope that Blade will be rated R. That's the only one I'm looking for, is Blade. That's the only one I care about. I don't care about nothing else. I just care about Blade.
I'm with you, man.
Blade.
Listen, man. Blade has a hell of a legacy to live up to because those Wesley Snipes movies, honestly, those Wesley Snipes movies are better than every MCU movie that's ever been produced.
Yo, check out the series with
First two were
Sticky.
great.
With Sticky being Blade, that TV show on Spike was really good, actually.
That was even good.
Yeah, it was good, and it just didn't get the notoriety that it was. I got it. I'm a Blade fan. I love
my
Blade.
man.
Yep.
I am a Blade fan. And once they got this, and that's why I said it makes me upset is that you have to do justice by the actual character. They got a good actor to play it, but now since Deadpool is going to be rated R, it is kind of messed up. It's kind of, you know what's so messed up about this whole thing about that? While I'm thinking about it, Feige and them played the director that was directing Doctor Strange at the first time. Because he said that he had to go in deep for the second Doctor Strange. Now that I will be into because the second Doctor Strange, I like because Doctor Strange deals with the mystics and all that stuff. I like that. But it was going to really go into the mythos of that. But Kevin Feige wasn't going to go into the dark, grim story of Doctor Strange. That's what the prior director was going to do. Now they're going to do the rated R for Deadpool. That dude should be pissed.
Yep.
He should be pissed as hell because the script for Doctor Strange was going to be off the hook. So my thing is this. I got hope for Blade because they better not come up with that bullshit talking about, well, we got to make it a hard PG-13.
They'll do, you know what they'll do? They'll do with Blade. They'll do Blade like they did the Mortal Kombat movie back in the 90s where they'll turn or the old Mortal Kombat game where there's sweat instead of blood, so with Blade look, man, it's crazy.
Punch you and all the spit.
Wait. Cisco, what did you say? Go ahead.
I was gonna say you guys gave me an idea talking this Bautista and who wanted to work with Zack Snyder. I was thinking, can you imagine Zack Snyder direct Bautista in a Bane movie? right?
This is a better one. I'll do a better one. I'll do a
The
better one
Vengeance
for
of
you.
Bane adaptation. Oh man, directed
I'll
by
do a better
Snyder.
one for you. I'll do a better one for you. But Batista and Asher Angel in a God of War movie directed by Zack Snyder.
If Zach did a God of War movie, it'd be lights out.
Yeah. It'll be a wrap. It'll be a wrap.
Money.
And you know what? If Zach gets a God of War movie, it'll probably be on Netflix.
Yep.
Probably.
Yo, I have a
Because they
question
are
on-
doing, because Zach is doing that. He's doing that Norse mythology
Right.
anime with Jay Oliva. So
Oh yeah, he is.
Yep.
It goes back. I want to get everybody on the panel too. I want to get, because I did a podcast the other day about his allegiance. I'm not going to go full into it, but do y'all fully think that Zach is going to stay with WB and fully commit to Netflix?
Really, I think he's gonna stay with. Really, I think he's gonna go with Netflix. Like I'm being real. Like before, I was like kind of iffy on that, but now thinking about
with
it,
the way
now,
things are now, yeah, I mean,
yeah, I'm thinking about
Zach's
things
the
now.
WB's in.
Yeah, he's definitely gonna be staying with
if you
Netflix.
notice, everybody seems to be jumping ship from WB now. When you have
Penny escape on the X-Men.
Patty Jenkins dropping that teaser for Star Wars, what, like a day or two before Wonder Woman 84 is going to drop on
5 years
HBO Max?
before, yeah.
You know that there's trouble there. You're like, why is this happening? Why is Ben Affleck giving credit to
Kevin Feige.
Feige?
Kevin Feige.
Why is all of a sudden you're seeing this influx of talent looking at the opposition? Why? Because things are that bad at WB. Kojay, you had something you wanted to add.
Oh yeah, it's more of that Blade stuff. It was just a quick question, and mostly for Prime. I think Prime. Curious of what you think. If you don't mind backpedaling.
No, go ahead.
All right, cool. So my question for Blade, I worry that it's going to be PG-13 if it's released under Disney, because Deadpool will it be released under 20th Century Fox as rated R, or under Disney?
Right.
And I'm wondering
Because
if that's
Blade is still
would Disney
Blade is
treat
still
20th Century Fox like they treated Miramax, like all their rated R stuff goes there.
So you gotta so when Blade came out, the rights is still with Fox. Even though Blade came under New Line Cinema.
Right.
Okay, so it was two studios. But Blade is still owned by Fox. So with Blade still being owned by Fox and 20th Century Fox, they might just still do the Deadpool route. That's why I say is that I have hope for that. Okay. So with that, if they do not do the same thing, because like I said, Disney had to do some negotiation with Ryan Reynolds. Because they had to do some, and with the producers and the writers of Deadpool. And whatever was being said, and whatever that actually happened, they had to make sure, because a lot of people want that Deadpool 3. And you cannot shortchange the fans of that property and what the script and what they was trying to do. You cannot shortchange that. It's the same thing. It's the same thing with the Blade. So if they're releasing everything under 20th Century Fox. It's not strictly MCU. It's under 20th Century Fox. Even though Disney is going to fund it and give all the money, but they're using the 20th Century Fox. So that's why I say they're still under Fox. So if they stick on that, then we good.
That Disney lineup threw me off.
Aren't they also trying to like put the mature section in Disney Plus so that they can?
Yeah, they are. They're gonna do that for
Logan, all that.
Yeah, for Hulu, if I'm not mistaken, it's either Hulu. Yeah, it's Hulu.
Oh, I have to buy Hulu. Oh.
Yeah, because you gotta remember. That's why they got that. That's why they got that bundle. So that's why they have the bundle.
Yeah, the bundle where you got Disney Plus, ESPN, and Hulu. Yeah.
Right, and then for that $15, you get that.
Disney has controlling stock in Hulu. That's why.
Yeah,
maybe someday that'll change, but for now, Disney owns them.
Right. So with that's why I say there's hope. There's hope.
But going back going back to the whole Scott Derrickson thing, like I really do still have a little bit I really do still have a little bit of edge for Kevin Feige doing it the way that he did, where he pretty much Scott was saying that he's going to make it the first horror MCU film, and then Kevin Feige just straight up to talk to the audience like they were kids and said, "No, it's gonna be PG-13, and you're gonna like it." Like
Yeah,
to
I
me,
remember that.
like to me,
Yeah,
that
I
was
remember that.
like to me that was just very disrespectful and really unprofessional the way that he did it.
Right, and that's why I said that they have to come correct with it with all the stuff that they have, because like I said, they have all those properties from Fox. You just can't shortchange those characters, and especially what they were trying to do. Don't get me wrong, Fox did not do. I'm just gonna. Oh God, Fox did not do X-Men right in my estimation outside of First Class and Future Past.
I agree with
Outside
that.
of those two, they didn't do X-Men properly for me. And also, I would say, well, Blade was actually fantastic. And what other Marvel characters they got?
They got
Logan.
yeah.
Yeah, they did Logan, so they did Logan extremely well. Like I said, the edgy stuff is what matters, because you got to remember, you're gonna have those Marvel kids, and I like Marvel as well. I'm more of DC than I am Marvel, but you got to remember, you got those Marvel hardcore fans that like that edgy shit, and you want to portray those characters that's supposed to be portrayed in that light. They want to see that, and Logan was the stepping stone, and that's why I said it hurt a lot when Disney bought Fox. That took that stuff away. So with Deadpool being now going to be a rated R movie, and it's confirmed that it's going to be rated R, there's hope. That's why I say
Yeah, there
now there's
definitely
hope
is.
for the other movie. That's why I say I, as long as they don't fuck up Blade, as long as it's rated R and they don't mess it up, I'm good. So that's the only thing. So
I'm with you on that, brother. You've given me hope today for that. I was actually worried because I thought it was on that.
And Double MJ says Zack Snyder wanted to make a R-rated Wolverine movie years ago, and yeah, that was X-Men Origins, I believe. Fox went to Zack first for X-Men Origins Wolverine, and
for real, I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Wow, I did not.
He wanted to make it. He wanted to make it rated R, but Fox said no, and then that's what happened. So
And that's the crazy. Go ahead. Sorry, Judge. What's so crazy about that? They denied it at that time, but then we get Logan.
Yep.
Yeah, and at that point, it was too late to go back to Zack Snyder.
Yeah.
So now.
But Logan was good though. So
Logan was good, but yeah.
Logan was nice. Can you imagine a rated R X-Men Origins Wolverine though?
I think this is where AT&T and Warner Brothers, they got to tread carefully if they want to be in the Zack Snyder business or not. Because if he doesn't continue the JL1, his whole arc, right, Prime? He's going to walk.
You said, well, repeat that.
He's going to walk. And he ain't never going to go. If they don't continue his arc, his Zack Snyder business, they want to be in the business with Zack Snyder, they better tread carefully, because if you don't give him his arc with Justice League, right, he'll walk. And he ain't coming back.
That's why I was saying.
Yeah, that's why I say he's already got. You're absolutely right, Cisco, because he's already got 1 foot out the door because of the deal he has with Netflix. Netflix is rolling out the red carpet essentially for Zack Snyder, because Netflix knows that Zack Snyder is the biggest visionary director working today. So they're gonna capitalize on that. They're gonna succeed in getting Zack Snyder as a top tier talent to be working under their banner, because the streaming wars, that's where it's at right now. And WB, I'm sorry, they don't have their stuff together, and I just think that they need to. If I was AT&T right now, my prime goal for 2021 would be to clean house, get rid of all those top stale executives that have been there far too long. Let them all go and start fresh from the bottom up, because you need new blood in there that maybe could do something better for the company, because whatever they're doing right now, it's not working.
Yeah,
Well,
look
Yeah,
at
Zai,
Turn,
to
one
piggyback,
movie
well,
score.
Zai, you gotta look at it like this. They already got rid of everybody. Everybody was already gone. You gotta remember the
no,
only
Yeah.
they
person that was
don't.
the only
They're
person
still
that's still in
Toby.
place is the only person that's still. What'd you say, Jeff?
There's still Toby. Like he
Yeah,
is
that's what I'm saying.
literally
Emmerich
like
is the only one that's left in place, and he has power in certain ways. You got to remember, the one Stanky is the head of everything because he's head of AT&T. He's the one that hired Ann Chernow. She's the CEO of Warner Brothers. Jason Kilar is the one that's head of Warner Media. You got to remember, and you keep on saying Warner. You're saying Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers is just head of the characters in the films. Warner Media is the primary. The problem is that they're just beating each other up in house because of I can't even think of the word right now, but everybody is going against each other because you got to remember they're under the same umbrella. So Warner Media is totally different than Warner Brothers. Warner Media is head of HBO Max. Warner Brothers is head of film. So whatever negotiations that they're doing together to put everything together, that's what they're doing. They're having in-house confliction. That's what I mean. So that's what's actually going on. So if Zach, that's why I said with his allegiance, Justice League is going to go sky high. It's going to be highly successful. The question is this. This is where the Ray Fisher stuff comes into play. You got to remember, Walter Hamada is head of DC Films. So to get those rights to use those characters, you got to go through Warner Brothers. And with him being president of DC Films, he's president of film. So to get anything going, you got to go through Hamada. Now, if they do a project through Warner Media and they're strictly doing it through that to put it on HBO Max, they'll do that because it won't go to theaters. It'll be on a streaming service. That's why Ray said if Zach said, well, he's not fired. People, y'all got to remember, he's not fired. They just took him off the movie. He's not fired as being an actor.
So, let's say, let's go off of that, piggyback off of that for a moment, Prime, and let's say that that's the case. That if the Snyderverse continues or whatever spin-offs they're going to do based off of the success of Justice League, we have to assume with all this Hamada nonsense and all this stuff that's going on here, we have to assume that all of that would essentially be going through Warner Media and be done on HBO Max.
Right. And also you have to consider this, where you had to consider again the audience factor, like, because I think the heat has kind of died down after Ray officially announced him being gone from the Flash. Like, the heat has died down, but really with Walter Hamada, you gotta think though, Walter Hamada right now, even though the heat has died down, he is still the major spotlight because now people are thinking about, okay, what are you going to do next? Because this again is kind of like a boxing matchup where people are kind of focusing on the WB side with Ray Fisher and Walter Hamada and stuff like that. So, and then you also have to consider the factor of Zack Snyder, with him being, as I keep saying, the quote that I keep calling him, the quote unquote weapon of mass destruction in the streaming wars. And if Walter, and you gotta think, if Zach leaves, then that's essentially his fan base leaving HBO Max. Like, I'm calling it how it is.
Well, not really, because HBO Max is going to be fine on its own.
Yeah.
It's going to be fine on its own because it just got so much content. I mean,
content alone.
I will say, speaking for myself, that if the Snyder cut is all we get and that's it, and Zack Snyder transfers his flag over to Netflix, I'm canceling HBO Max. There won't be no need for HBO Max, because think about it. If you're a fan and you got, the Snyder Cut. The Snyder Cut's hitting physical media. It's like good night. I mean, to me, I feel like they're canceling themselves.
I mean, no, not really, because you got to remember this too, Zod. Their other IPs are coming on HBO.
Oh,
Max.
sure, but if you're gonna
what
really
about Babylon 5?
When it comes to DC content,
But those will only
DC
be
content.
a month.
Yeah,
You got
Right, so you have to look at it for like now. After that, after this year, like I say, 2021 is the actual liftoff on how everything is transpiring.
right.
So everybody have to look at it like that. So we will see.
Sure.
We will see. Put it like this: by the summertime, we will see what's going on because we're going to see. Go ahead,
how's this for logic and common sense, Prime? Go back to the common sense thing we're talking about. You got a Peacemaker show, right? A Peacemaker, some obscure character is going to get his own show, right? But you're not going to continue Zack Snyder's arc or do any more content with him. And
back to it goes back to what you said. And right when you said that all goes to Walter Hamada. So whatever that Walter Hamada wants for a DC property and where he wants out,
I'd have to at that point, if the Snyder Cut is the rousing success that we all know and expect it to be, I'd have to, and if Walter Hamada is the brick blocking everything, I would just have to do away with Hamada. I'm sorry. At that point, you gotta look at you gotta look at what's gonna be the cash cow. What's more important? Holding on to Zack Snyder and his rabid fan base that campaigned and gave you free advertising for over 3.5 years for a movie that you guys wanted nothing to do with. I mean, or letting him go and staying the course with movies like Birds of Prey and Wonder Woman 84. What are you supposed to do?
His content's going to bring money. His content's going to make money.
You could keep your job at McDonald's burning the burgers.
It's like this. Let's use McDonald's for a minute. McDonald's, Zack Snyder's like the McRib. Every time he comes back, everybody gets excited. What does that tell you? There's a reason why McDonald's keeps bringing the McRib back, because every time they do,
it's good.
They see a boost in sales. Well,
I'm gonna screw up at McDonald's now. I'd be like, "Can I have a McSnyder? I mean, a McRib?"
Yeah, that's what it is. We're not, and it's like you look at the Army of the Dead, for example. When that movie hits, that is going to be the purest form of Zack Snyder that we've ever seen, because it's been unmolested completely. No studio is meddling. Nobody's telling. Netflix basically just got Zack Snyder and said, "How much do you need?" Netflix isn't asking, giving him all these mandates on what he has to put in the movie, what he can take out, what he can say or can't say. That's what I'm saying. As Zack Snyder fans, we're gonna win with Netflix. With WB, I can't say. I mean, I can be hyped up for the Snyder Cut because it's 4 hours and it's the vision that Zack Snyder wants. But moving beyond that, I don't know what WB thinks they're going to do, because none of their other movies have lit any kind of a fire of excitement in anybody. And even people that sit there and act like they love Wonder Woman 84 and they love Birds of Prey and they love all the movies that came before, they're not enough. They're not talking about it enough to where it's getting people hyped up to make people think that that's the direction that you should go.
And we got those movies before in the form of Green Lantern and Superman Returns. That's really what these movies are. Right.
I saw a really funny WB slate for upcoming DC movies on Twitter the other day, and one of them was Superman Returns 2, and they had some other, they had Wonder Woman 1988, and a couple other ones. And at the back of my mind, I'm thinking you could actually see WB doing something this dumb, because WB is that clueless. They're that stupid.
You want to know the funny thing about that? There was going to be.
Before you go, I'm going to bow out. I have to leave. I just want to say thank you for having
okay.
me. Y'all
Well,
are awesome.
thank
later,
you
bud.
so much, Koj, for being here, man. It's always a pleasure. You're always welcome. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Be
Much
blessed,
love to you
Jay.
guys.
Have a great night.
I stand with the score.
But yeah, the funny thing about the Superman Returns 2, that actually almost happened. Like that actually, there is actually a script for it that Kevin Smith has actually read, and he said that it's kind of crazy where they were going with it in a bad way. So yeah, that almost happened. So
No, I have to read Double MJ's comment here. BVS made over $870 million and then became one of the best-selling Blu-rays, and yet James Gunn gets handed film projects and an HBO Max series for a character that nobody asked for, and the Suicide Squad movie isn't even out yet. Yes, that is a double standard, and that's utter
You get it right on
BS.
the head.
Which is why I could care less about James Gunn's Suicide Squad. To tell you the truth, I don't care. I'll probably see the movie, but I put it in the same category as all the other movies, as Birds of Prey and Wonder Woman 84, The Wish Stone, whatever. I don't really think these movies are doing DC and I don't think these movies are doing DC any favors. I just don't. I think that you need a vision.
Because yeah, like to me, James Gunn doing Suicide Squad, I'm just like, okay, that's a thing. Like to me, that's James Gunn's Suicide Squad. It's like, I know, like I've actually seen the footage that that's gonna be like a 1960s war movie, and I saw the footage at DC Fandom, but it was the cool stuff there, but it was just kind of like, okay.
Right, like who cares? It's a standalone movie that nobody's going to care about after they've seen it. Go ahead, Carlos.
I was gonna say if we don't hear anything within the first week of Zack Snyder's Justice League being released about any continuation branching off of what has been established in that, I'm gonna be really mad because
you gonna be mad because it ain't happening. They're trying to push it out.
Yeah. But after what is it 2 days after Wonder Woman 84's release?
Wasn't it like the very next day?
It was the third day. They put that up after the third day after it was out, and the reason why they did it for PR because they started seeing all the bad reviews come out.
And not only that, by then we'd already seen Patty Jenkins' little promo for Rogue Squadron.
Exactly, Prime. Yep.
Right,
exactly.
if you actually go into Patty's interview about Wonder Woman 3, she was like, in the most recent one, she was like, he kind of dismissive about like, I might do it, but
But and to piggyback what you're saying, but the reason why Patty probably don't care, they gave her $10 million up front. She don't give a fuck. She's done.
She got her money. She's out.
Yep. She's out. Yeah, remember, she's done.
And Carlos, you had a point.
Oh no, but also like a bit after DC Fandom, we had the first kind of roll call teaser for the Suicide Squad and the behind the scenes teaser, and then they announced Peacemaker. So I'm just wondering, they're always so quick to announce these things. Like it's a shame. It's really a shame that like after BVS, we didn't hear like a direct Batman announcement and stuff like that.
And you want to talk about PR? We talk about PR, right? Here's another PR thing. They're into it with Ray Fisher right now. Here we go. Another business decision, right? You go on the business of Zack Snyder. You continue his arc, right? And what's great PR? You bring back Ray Fisher and let Zack Snyder produce a Cyborg solo series on HBO Max, all right? And even though who knows if Hamada's involved or not, he doesn't have to be involved, right? Obviously, if it's on HBO Max or whatever, he probably has to give approval, right? But what does that bring? That brings great PR as well if you do something like that. You know what I mean? But no, they're more worried about, whatever. a Peacemaker announcing Wonder Woman 3 when Wonder Woman 2, 84, it wasn't very good. 3 days later, right?
I mean,
It's gonna get worse, though.
it's gonna, yeah, it is. It is gonna get worse. It's gonna get worse before it gets better, because essentially what I think WB is gonna try to do, and this is, this may seem controversial, but what I think they're gonna try to do is I think they're gonna try to stay quiet regardless of how good the Snyder Cut does with the numbers on HBO Max, and it's gonna take AT&T sticking their head through the door again, saying, continue with this path.
Slap them around a bit. Because like that's the thing that's the thing that's scary. Like that's really the thing. Like AT&T right now is really like the scary monster that that they're trying to avoid. Where where he's like, where AT&T is like the monster under their bed, looking at it like, man, I don't know. I may be quiet, but I am paying attention to what you're doing. Don't make me come out there.
And with that, I want to welcome my good friend Ryan Zeverfett to the panel. It's always a pleasure to have you, Ryan. Thank you for stopping by.
Hey, man.
What's up, man?
Not much. Just
I mean, Ryan, we were on a heavy live stream yesterday. And I have to admit, you and I, it was so funny because it kind of, to me, it felt like the old days, man. Like we had our points that we were trying to get through. We were trying to get through to like a brick wall. Yeah,
it was.
And essentially,
the thing is like I was telling, who was I telling? I was telling somebody, probably Nicotina. Is that
Nicotina?
Yeah, is that it's you go into a debate and you already have
Wait, what's this about a debate that you guys keep talking about?
It was a live stream with Mad Max, and I don't want to mention the guy's name, but it rhymes with ignore.
Oh, so I need to see that one. I need to see that one then.
So you can make as many good points as you want, and you can talk clear, concise, make valid arguments. But at the end of the day, like Zod was saying, it's like talking to a brick wall. The guy is not receptive. He already has his set fixed paradigm. He's locked in. He's got target sighted. And he hears it in the background. Stay on target. And that's done. And that's just kind of that's it. And it's like, it's away, and it didn't go in.
Yeah, well, now apparently he's doing a live stream, taking a lot of the stuff that we said last night
out of context.
Sure. And so I just want to set the record straight today that none of the stuff that we said yesterday, was meant to offend or disparage anybody in the Snyder Cut movement.
Okay, now I really need to see this one.
There was
it's not worth. Don't give it a view.
I'm going to watch it just for the entertainment value of it. I'm gonna watch
there's no entertainment.
I've said this before. I said this this afternoon when I was on Sil Abdul's stream, that being on that stream yesterday, that was one of the most uncomfortable live streams I think I've ever been on. Because again, when you're in that situation where you're with somebody that's a brick wall, and you, Brian, who you stream with, you've kind of become the official co-host of the Poindexter Lounge, and you, who's somebody who's on there with Enosh all the time, I could just imagine how you were during all of that.
I kept shifting position. I was so nervous. I was like, I
couldn't believe you gave up your spot.
No, I was like, I'm out, dude. I'm out.
I was just there to comment behind the scenes, throw some comments at you guys, backstage. It became to the point. I wasn't going to stay.
It got to the point where at some point, just to find some common ground, Great Take Ryan tried to inject a little bit of conversation about Star Wars into it to try and find a little bit of common ground. I give him a lot of credit for that, because it's like you're trying to find something that you can talk to this blowhard about that's not going to
really need to see
create.
this now. It's
not going to create friction on a level that's ridiculous.
The one good thing that we got out of him was that he does have he said he'd be, he's very transparent about it, which
and not to cut you off, Ryan, but I have to bid farewell to my co-host here, Carlos. He has to depart early, so thank you, Carlos, very much for
What's
being
up, Carlos? Man, have a good night, man.
I appreciate it, man.
It was a really long day, so school just started back up. So I'm gonna get back in the swing of things. Come, fresh and ready to rumble.
Well, I'll see you next. I'll see you next week.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, but so really, with
the nicotine of the trolls in the chat.
Wait, but yeah, really, the reason why I'd say I'm still gonna watch it is really because of this. It's really not only for the entertainment value of it, and also for the curiosity level of it, because I'm actually very curious on how the conversation went. But it also comes to mind with me as in a personal level, where I believe that even though when people say that, oh, you don't need to debate with that guy. To me, and how I've lived my life and my thinking is that confrontation is really kind of like the end all be all for debates. You can really say it all you want, that it's like a 50-50 thing, but to me, where people have a debate, you can kind of see their perspective and stuff like that. That's really why I say that's really why every time I actually do mention someone like Jody or Andy, I always say I'll do it on your channel, and because I want them to be comfortable in their world of sorts, and so that it can be kind of fair. So
that's not the one thing I can say is that one thing we can say is that Max was trying to make it fair, but the
problem with Max is that Max is so terrified because they,
the blackmail thing.
Yes, he was blackmailed by Jody. And he doesn't even want to bring up his name. He's so terrified of these people, right? He's so terrified that they're going to do something, because they made the threat. They made, the claim that they were going to
call the cops then.
That's almost as good as calling the YouTube police. I mean, come on.
No, I mean, actually call the cops, because that's against the law.
Well, first off, okay, I saw that stream and I saw everything that Jody said, what Jody did. And also I know exactly, I would have been like, look, go right ahead, do what you got to do. But I have so much information on y'all and what we're talking about. This is concrete. Right now, you say, he say, she say shit. Go right on damn ahead. What you going to do? You going to hurt me? What's it going to do? It's not going to do anything to me. You know what I mean? Yeah. Go right ahead. Do what you do. I don't care.
Okay. Yeah, I need to see it.
That's what Max should do. I think Max is my dude. I like Max.
Yeah, Max is.
But the thing about it is that he has his character that he wants to portray. So the character that he's portraying is that he doesn't want nobody to see his face. So that's the character. And some of the people that he have on his panel, they have these, that's just how they do their characters. They don't want people to actually know the real person. That's the person that they want to show on camera. That's who he is. That's what he's trying to protect. I'm not mad at that. You got your show. That's what you want to do. Fine. Absolutely. But, you're putting stuff up there for your content to expose. I'm not trying to go too long, but not just to expose, but to talk about about your contradictions. And if you're being a hypocrite and you're talking about certain things, what's wrong about talking about it? If you choose to talk about it, if that's what you want to do. And the only reason why people come out and they get offended because they know they fucked up.
Yeah,
and that's the only reason why that's why they getting upset about it, because they know they fucked up.
Yeah.
So my thing is that hey, it is what it is.
Hey, Barcelona B, good to see you. Glad you could make it. Barcy is so awesome. Nicotina says, smash that like button for ZodWriter. Thank you, Nicotina. It'd be great, man, if you could jump on. I know you're working. I understand, man. It would be great to have you on one of these nights, though.
Yeah.
And Double MJ has been blowing it up with some great comments tonight. He's saying ignorant dumbasses like that don't care about the truth. They care about being popular. That's why whenever it doesn't fit their BS narrative, they'll always ignore it, spin it, and discredit it. And that's exactly what Andy Signor was trying to do yesterday.
I should have been on here, man. I would have torched Signor.
I think it goes deeper than that. I think it goes deeper than that for him. And I think it goes to him as a human. And this is really what I mean by that. I think it goes to him trying to prove himself that he's right. I think that's what it ultimately comes down to. I think he's not. I think he's not open.
That who wants to be right?
I think he's proven himself that he isn't open to being wrong. Like, he may say that he'll admit that he's wrong, but he won't say it during a debate. He won't say it during a debate that he's wrong until the actual news comes out that he is wrong. And that actually does come, and I actually know this because I actually made a video on this where he invited me to his Twitch stream. Like, I went.
Yeah, he did. Like, I remember that.
Yeah, like, he invited me to his Twitch stream, and it was around that time with the Harley Quinn release of the Snyder Cut shirt. I'm giving you, the people who don't know the story, the context of it. It was the same day of the release of the Snyder Cut shirt. On that day came out, and Andy was saying, hey, they're trolling you, yada yada yada. And then I commented saying, no, you're wrong on that. It's actually a positive thing. And that's all I said. That's all I commented. I didn't say anything about, hey, we can debate this on your show. I just said, hey, we can just I'm just saying that, hey, this is a positive thing. So then, as the day goes on, a few minutes later, I get a reply from him saying, hey, we'll debate this on the show. And then I say, okay, because that's a open invitation. Like, I pictured that as an open invitation about us having a debate. So then he sends me the link, and it's coincidentally on Twitch, which you really can't download videos and download clips, because it's also a private stream, meaning that you would have to pay to get to his streams. So then I get on the stream, and then I immediately see Andy and Jody there. And so I said, and the only word that I literally got to say was a literal hi, and it was a literal hey guys, in a friendly manner. And then Jody just kind of went off on me for 10 seconds, and I really and basically calling me a stalker. And Andy was saying, and I'm wearing headphones, and at one ear I hear Jody mouthing me off for 10 seconds, and I hear Andy saying, hey, I want to hear what Jeffrey has to say. But then Andy then for some reason the screen went crazy for a bit. Then I was out of the stream, and at first I didn't think that he blocked me. I thought it was a glitch on my phone because as I said, the screen went crazy. But then when I went to text Andy on Twitter, it said I can't send him the tweet because he blocked me. So yeah. So yeah,
I mean that sounds like a very familiar story. And once again, Double MJ's hitting it on the head tonight. This is one of the many reasons why I don't waste my time with somebody like that. They're terrible people, and I think that just underscores it. Go ahead.
Well, I'll just do the synopsis on that because I remember the stream on Twitch, and I remember when Jeff got introduced and he got put in. They asked him questions. He answered the questions lightly. He answered them thoroughly. All right. He gave them proper information pertaining to this was with the Snyder Cut stuff. So anyway, they tried to gang up on him, but Jeff did not bite. So when he started giving them facts, that's when they kicked him out because he started to make them look retarded on their actual stream.
Yeah. And we have another great comment here. I had to cut off that live stream yesterday. He was lying in whatever he said. I don't know why Max puts up with him. Prime, I think you're right. He's probably scared of them. Yeah, one of the things that was good about that stream, the one good thing that I think came from it, is that you could tell how civil all the rest of us were, in contrast to how he was, because he came on there. And I had this conversation earlier with some other people, and I basically said it was like that level of civility is the most civil I've ever seen Mr. Signor on a stream. I've never seen him
that's because I think he would use it later to show, look how composed I was.
Right.
Right. Because the last time he was on there, I didn't even talk to that idiot because I was like, dude, he came on with a mask.
Oh, yeah.
And he was like, come on, shows you behind the mask.
Right. He came on the show. Yeah. I remember that stream. We were all on it. We were all there. He came on the stream with a Darth Maul mask.
No. It was a not Darth Maul. It was Red Skull.
Oh, Red Skull. Yeah. And he came on there. He sounded so angry and so, just ready to fight, ready to beat up anybody that had a dissenting opinion from him. Jersey says, Zod, I appreciate your dope stream, bro. Love your show and the guests. Hey, I love you too. I love all of you, and I'm so glad. I'm so glad that this is a stream that everybody likes to participate in. I couldn't be happier.
And so as far as the stream goes last night, I think he was using it as like propaganda.
Yes,
to sort of like say, to split the fandom and try to take a little bit, I guess. Because maybe some support away from Enosh, because that's who they really don't like. They don't like
right. They don't care. They don't care about us.
Right.
It's about Enosh. It's about Poindexter Lounge.
Ray has been on Poindexter Lounge, and he would not give them the time of day. And they were like, we're calling you out. Oh, you owe us an apology. You need to get on here. You need to get on our show and give us that apology. And nobody's going to apologize for Jack. I mean, you're a streamer. You're not owed anything.
Right. You're not owed anything.
And the whole gay Fisher, yay Fisher, whatever, man, he said them both. And you know what? It was a reference to South Park. It was a reference to what's his name? Kanye West, yay fish. And so it all roads lead to gay. All roads. So if he said gay, Fisher, or if he said yay Fisher is going back to that South Park show, which is when they were making fun of Kanye West, calling him gay. So all roads lead to gay, no matter how you slice it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, it is what it is.
And I will say again, I'm just glad that Brian, that you and I were both there for that stream, because again, it's one of those streams where you try to do your best in the situation that you're in with the people around you.
I wish I was there, man.
And I was like, man,
I wish I was
Man,
there.
I wish
I
I
was
was
like, I
there.
gotta jump on. And then Brian was like, here, you can have my seat. And I was like, oh, I wasn't really,
Brian was
really there for that.
but I mean, I love Brian's perspective on it. I mean, he said over and over again, I've said my piece when it comes to that guy. I don't really need to add to something else. And I think we're all there. I think we're all at that point right now.
I was at that point in the summertime, and not to toot my own horn, but I'm the one that kind of started off, block the haters. And I started that whole thing, and I got Fatal into it. I got everybody into it, because it was just like, dude, this is shit we don't need in our lives, man. Let's we're here for a film. We're here for DC content. We're not here for morons trying to make a buck.
Exactly.
So,
Rel McMillan says he was mad because of the videos Max was making about him and Jody, but it's okay for him to make videos about Campia, Grace, and Enosh.
It's so ridiculous. That's why it's like, for me, I know there's basically nothing you could do at this point but just kind of put your sword down and walk away. You know what I mean? It's really not worth the fight. It's not worth the aggravation. I mean, like, seriously, I'm not trying to kowtow, but I mean, come on, man.
I agree, and I hope that last night was the last straw for Max.
Yeah,
I hope.
Oh yeah. Just on the basis alone, Ryan, not even Ryan, Brian, us, not even from our perspective, but on the level in which it upset Enosh. I always say think about Enosh in this situation. Because this is a guy who he's got all this perspective, and it has become a little bit personal with Enosh because of he's had Ray Fisher on the Poindexter Lounge. He's tried to have conversations with Andy. It's sort of a I
think Enosh is beyond that point too. He was like for a minute. Enosh was like, I can rationalize with this guy. I'm sure if I got him one-on-one, we could talk this out. And it's not about
that's what we tried to do yesterday, though, Ryan. Ryan, you and I, it was like again, that's the most civil you're ever gonna see him on a stream. So that's about as good as it gets. You're not gonna
and you gotta think really that for Enosh, he's a Christian. Like, it's really hard for him to get mad. Like, it's really rare for him to actually, like, you'll see him be frustrated.
He's very passionate. He's very passionate, but you're right, Jeffrey. He tries not to get angry. He's just very, very passionate about things. And Barcelona B says that stream was so awkward, I didn't want to comment anything. I agree. It was a very awkward stream. And
honestly, if I hadn't been alerted to it, I wouldn't have been on there.
Right.
I wouldn't have been on there.
I'm gonna have to check that out, man. Because
I'll check it out. But like I said, like Zai said earlier, if I was there, I would have chewed his ass up.
Yeah.
So, and again, the Daniel's saying here, sometimes you just have to cut people off off. You're exactly right.
Yeah, that's all you
unless you're like Jeffrey and you want to try to challenge these people. I don't know, because ultimately
I saw what they were doing last year, when they were, when they just started off and Jody was teaching Andy how to make a buck. He was like, yeah, this is how you do it. This is how you, and Andy was like, oh man, I need your group. I need, your fans or whatever. I need your fam. Because, my guy, people that come over on my channel, they're just, they don't give me anything. They just, subscribe and that's it and whatever. And he was like, how do I make money? And that's when the whole Cash App came in and we were making fun of him and all that.
Yeah. Where we were like every time we go on Enosh's show, we're like, Cash App. That's
the bottom line for them.
If Max really want to do anything, if you really want to I'm not getting into it, but I could just tell you this. I don't know if y'all remember, because I don't watch Jody's stuff. I don't watch Satanor stuff, but I do watch J3. Now, that's
I only saw the one he did in December. And that shit was
the one that he said that's titled Get Over It.
He kicked him out.
Okay, the video that he did, because I watched Jay stuff. Jay, that's my dude.
Yeah,
But
J3 is awesome, man.
yeah, Jay, that's my dude. But what he said, the truth, he brought all the factuals out about Jody and about everything that actually went down. If y'all watch that, he tells everything. I'll give you an example. That studio that he got, Jay got that shit.
Yeah,
Jody ain't put a dime in that shit. None of it.
And
He
had nothing but past due notices.
Yeah,
you know, I mean, he didn't pay
and this is how far he. This is how far he went into detail with it. Like he actually showed you the stuff in this. He actually went into his computer and showed you stuff to actually give you like this is what it is right here, right in front of you. And I actually remember seeing Andy in the chat. I would occasionally see Andy in the chat saying, "That's not where's the proof of that? You're not saying anything. Show us the evidence." And then Jay would show him the evidence with computer screen and all right in front of you.
Yeah.
It's tricked out because he breaks down everything in that.
Yeah, it's a good video. I recommend anybody who's interested in finding out, who Jody is or whatever.
The truth.
Same thing with Andy.
If you have a link, Prime, if you got a link to that video, put it in the private chat, and I'll post it here for anybody who wants to watch.
Oh, sure, I got you. I'll do it now.
So it shows you what Andy was doing.
This is how long that video is. This is how long.
It's about 2 hours.
Yeah,
so,
no, it's 3.5.
Okay, well, about 2 hours of content. A lot of the stuff he did repeat himself a lot, and then at the end it got a little personal about his kids.
Right. And Jersey says down here, Zod, I'm surprised you held your cool the way you did. In relation to that stream, my face was saying it all. I was really, really irritated, and I was face palming internally so many times during that stream that I don't know. I don't know what half the time I don't know about you, Ryan, but I was like zoning out so much, like, oh my god, this guy is abysmal. Like
the thing about it was for me with Andy is that he talks in circles. So I was like, okay, and he also feels like if he gets the last word, then his point is somehow more validated. So I was like, no, I'm going to continue to talk after you and to bring up my points again, even though you brought up your points again, just because I'm not going to sit there and just kind of sit back and smile and shut up.
Jersey says, even Zeverfett, you guys held your composure. I was cursing away and didn't give a what. I think it's appropriate though.
Yeah,
when you put it in that context. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean,
sounds like an entertaining stream, guys.
Yeah,
man, you know what? I could not. I'm sorry, but for 30 minutes of the stream, it was 2 hours, 2 hours and 30 minutes of the whole damn stream. 30 minutes was like us going back over the same points.
Yeah.
I stopped watching when I got off.
I was typing to Max. I said, Max, we're talking in circles in the stream. I was like, there's no more ground we can cover. He's not here to get his mind changed or anything, and obviously we're not going to change our mind to a stupid paradigm. So I was like, dude, end the stream. That's it. Let's not go any further. And he finally got I guess he finally read it, and he was like, okay, yeah, I got to end the stream. And when he did, we even talked to him afterwards. We're just, and he still said the same rhetoric. So I was like, okay, I'm obviously not going to engage anymore with this guy. So
Noel Martin says, I checked that stream out earlier today. The entire time I was just shaking my head. Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah, I really do need to check that stream out. But
I just stuck it in the
okay,
chat.
There you go.
Make sure to leave a like and
yeah, there you go.
Y'all watch the whole thing.
Where'd you post it, Prime?
It's in the chat. I'll put it in. You want me to put it in the private?
Yeah, you gotta put it in the private chat.
Put it in the private so I can post.
In
So
the
I can
private.
post
Okay, I
the
got you.
link.
I got you.
Yeah.
I got you.
But yeah, like really, like, but yeah, like really, like with like you guys are talking about it, like you're talking about it, like it's kind of like a myth going on. And I'm like saying like, man, I really need popcorn to check out that stream because, like I said, like
you'll probably enjoy some aspects of it, Jeffrey, considering the way that you feel about it. I mean, that's. You probably will. I mean, I'm definitely.
But here's the kicker, really. Like, here's and please let me finish my point because there's a real payoff to it. I still watch Andy and Jody's videos, but only to get a laugh out of everything of what they say. So, so I just watch it I just watch it them to make me laugh.
Hold on, let me address homie. Yeah, Jay and Jody grew up together.
Yeah.
They fell out, and Jay was the primary. Put it like this: Jay is probably the only one out of that bunch that got morals and common sense.
Yeah, because he was really the most logical person of the two.
Yeah, I mean, he completely got the short end of the stick, having to pick up, the bills and stuff like that. Running his credit, into the ground. Meanwhile, Jody's like, man, I got $7,000 $7,000 super chat, and then it's like $2.
And Jay was friend, and so they fell out after the Justice League team. They all fell out because of all the stuff that was going on and all the stuff that happened. They grew up together, and Jay really put it out in that video. They're done. Their friendship is done. He ain't fucking with them no more. Nothing like that.
Well, would you say that it's similar to what happened between Jody and Fatal J?
No,
pretty much.
No, man, Fatal J like stabbed him in the back. No. Why could you do that?
Really with what Fatal J said in regard to that Film God video that he kind of Film God clipped out with Jody talking about Fatal J, him mentioning Jody mentioning him only because of super chats, if he was really like your boy, the super chat thing wouldn't be in consideration.
So Jody kind of the same way he treated Jay was the same way he treated Jay, in that he saw them as like property, like you're my bitch, and I get to dictate who my bitch talks to and doesn't talk to, and he didn't like that Fatal was going off talking to certain people or whatever, and yeah, so they had Fatal saw the light. I was in his ear, and I was like, yeah, dude, I completely agree that he leave that corner.
Yeah,
Jody don't like me. Jody do not like me.
With that stream where Jody acted all betrayed.
Oh, good lord!
And all
that was for super chat.
Yeah.
Because I still remember that dude that kind of went. I still remember that dude who went to hug him, and he was looking around, like he was at the far end of where Jody was, and he was like looking around, like, man, is this something I really want to see right now? Like Jody crying. So then he got up, and then Jody was like, no. It was like, what is he saying no about?
It is what it is, man. I mean, people, I try to preach to everybody is like this. If you don't entertain people that don't know what they're talking about, and especially people that have a particular agenda, especially if you already know what the agenda is, Why even waste your energy and time in doing it? Now, if you come around people that actually give you a thorough, either a synopsis or their point of view, and it is thorough and it's a legit opinion, you can mess with those people because they're giving you a reason on why they come to that conclusion. But you dealing with people that are just dealing just to be doing it for an agenda, you need to stay away from those people. And a lot of them are like that. You can sniff it out a lot from a lot of people. Because the first thing that'll come out their mouth, they'll say one messed up thing. You're like, oh, nope, you just saying stuff now. Because you ain't done no homework. You ain't done your due diligence. You ain't done shit to even come to a full conclusion. And then to put it with your opinion. So you don't even mess with them. You'll hear a lot of people like that. And it's crazy.
Double MJ is pointing that out, saying I'm not watching their stupid videos. I value my brain cells. And Barcelona B points out, asked the question: did Enosh do a stream during last night's stream?
Yes, he did. It just wasn't on YouTube.
It just wasn't on YouTube, but we're definitely going to have something for Enosh when it comes back. Everybody needs to support Enosh. The things that happened to him are deplorable, and to his channel. And we just need to show our support to him or for him and for his channel, for his family. Because I mean, he definitely needs it. What happened to him should not have happened to him.
Yeah,
absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Yeah, and really wasn't. What was? Wait, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm going back to today, like earlier today, I saw like a few people doing threads. I saw Enosh and Lightcast doing threads that where Enosh was kind of vaguely referring it to Andy and other people, while Lightcast was really just straight up talking about Andy. So was Andy part of that stream too?
Yeah, he was there.
Yes.
Oh wow. So that's what those.
So Andy's trying to go hard at again. They both don't like Matt, so they're trying to somehow go at him and stay relevant. Like, hey guys, don't forget about us. We're here fighting the good fight, and we need your cash apps too. So. They're trying to go after Lightcast. They've been trying to go after Enosh. They're going to continue because it's there's nothing worse than a woman scorned, and that's how Andy and Jody are, because they did not capture Ray's attention like
that's right. That's right. That is
you know what, and good thing that you're talking about Ray Fisher. And I want to get this thought out for everybody. I think a lot of people are going to agree with this. I'm not going to be real quick. I'm not going to be long. A lot of the thing that got me was that when I watched Enosh stream that day, when Ray was on the panel, and he brought fans on his panel, there's a lot of kids that's out there that like Cyborg.
Yeah,
there's a lot of kids, and I think once they officially see Cyborg fully on screen, there's gonna be a lot of people that's gonna be craving for Ray Fisher to reprise that role. I'm gonna tell you
right. I mean, he's they're trying to take out the only black superhero in the league.
Yeah.
And really, and it's not even on a project that Walter Hamada is actually attached to. He's not attached to the Flash.
Exactly.
So he has no monetary gain.
Right.
They're just doing it to be douches.
Right. And really, like, I'm going to say this before I go. Like, really, if you really want to go about it like that, because Zach was talking about Cyborg being the heart of the movie, but what a lot of people miss is Zach actually went into a little bit more detail into that about Cyborg as a character, and he said everyone that Cyborg's story is what everyone can relate to. And that really right there, now that I'm thinking about it, with what you said about kids, about how kids really do love Cyborg, like I really do feel like we already know we're gonna go through we already know we're gonna go through a emotional journey with
no doubt.
Justice League. But with Cyborg, I really do feel like a lot of tears are gonna be shed when we see Cyborg's full performance.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to see him lose his mother. You're going to see him lose his father. And you're going to see the the issues that he has and how he has to overcome that. So
Yep.
I mean, it's definitely going to have a lot of weight, a lot of gravitas to the whole film.
Yeah, and so with that out of the way, I gotta go, guys. It was
all
fun.
right. Well, thank you. Thank you for coming.
Yeah. So see you guys next week. I guess.
Yeah, I'll be here next week, Jeff.
Yeah.
All right, Jeff.
All
right, man.
So,
Later.
these Dark Side shirts are sweet. I'm about to order them now.
Yeah, they look really nice.
One thing about the Dark Side shirt,
I don't know if I should get the white one or the blue one. I'm thinking about getting the blue one.
I ordered the charcoal one.
Yeah, I mean, if you get the white one, you got to worry about stains.
Yeah. Oh, I just see they got the Omega symbol on it. Oh.
Yeah.
you know, I like him, but I wish they would have had his iconic stance where his hands are behind his back and just looking. That would have been nice too. I'm sure that'll come out sooner or later.
Too. Oh yeah.
You know, the Dark Side
like
when his hands are behind his back and he's just staring in that pose. That's the iconic Dark Side pose right there.
Yes.
Oh man, I got to get this blue one in. This is nice. I like this. Yeah. Oh yeah, this is nice. This is nice.
And Barcelona B says Cyborg was one of my first DC superheroes. The Teen Titans were my first. I can't wait to see Ray's full performance. And you know what, Barcy, you're not alone. We all are excited about Ray Fisher's upcoming true performance as Cyborg. Because remember, we have not seen his. I mean,
he's been getting the shaft for so long. They even hired the other Cyborg for the for the Teen Titans. Doom Patrol.
Oh,
and Jeff, Jeff was dancing on Ray Fisher's grave, saying hi. I've already recast Cyborg. And Ray came out and said, you know what, hey, I wish this man well. I wish.
And he even said he took it one step further, Ryan. He said if he sees anybody, bullying or picking on his cyborg brother from another mother box, he's gonna block him.
Yep.
So that right there shows you what a stand-up guy Ray is, and this is where Double MJ chimes in with Ray Fisher is the kind of person that hypocritical, fake-ass bitches hate. They know that he's a better person than them, and they hate him for that.
Oh, my God. Did y'all see the other – I read his comment. Did y'all see this other shirt that they got?
I saw 3 designs.
I'm getting this one.
There's 3 of them.
The black one. It's the gray one. It got the Justice League on the
bottom. Yeah, you're going to get the gray one, the charcoal one. Yeah, that's the one I ordered. That one is awesome. I'm so excited about that shirt. When I saw it, I'm like, yep, here you go. Add to cart.
Wow, that is nice. Okay, it's
like that shirt is almost as nice as like a Zeverfetch shirt would be.
There you go.
Almost. not quite as nice, but
hey, wait. Dark Side actually liked my post today.
Ray Porter, he did.
Yeah, Ray Porter did. I was like, wow, because he didn't follow me. I mean, he's I've talked to him before, but he doesn't follow me. I was like, how the hell did he?
Right, he doesn't follow a lot. He doesn't follow a lot of people,
and that was
he follows the people from the beginning. He followed the people that discovered him and discovered he was Dark Side and all that.
I was like, wow, how I wasn't even expecting that, and I was like, Matt from Lightcast liked it, and I was like, Ray Porter. I was like, Ray Porter. Oh damn. So that's pretty awesome.
I would say this for everybody too, but I would think that the two main characters in Justice League that we are really going to be looking forward to, like I said, is going to be Ray Fisher and Cyborg, and I got a strong feeling Ezra Miller is going to give us a great Flash. I really think that.
Yeah, I
Because
think it's going to be completely different.
I want
It's
to see
gonna be
more.
them too.
Yeah.
I still
It's gonna
think
be them.
I think
Don't
the
get me
Bushiroads
wrong.
are gonna
Everybody
knock it
else
out of the
gonna do
park.
their thing because we ain't gonna get that. We're gonna get a real Batman. We're gonna get our Batman, and we gonna get, of course, Henry gonna do his thing, and of course, Gal gonna do her thing. Of course, everybody's gonna see Wonder Woman full effect. But I think the highlights of the movie is going to be Flash and Cyborg. Why? Because they're gonna do so much back. Zack is probably gonna do so much backstory on them too, and integrate so much. Because you got to remember, he put Iris in there, so you're going to save Iris. Remember what he said? He was going for a job interview to see if he can get a job, and that's how he met Iris. Then, if y'all remember the scene, he actually filmed going into Central City. That's introducing Flash, letting people know exactly where he's at. He's going to actually show Central City.
Oh, so, yeah, I'm down for that. I'm ready to see it.
So, right.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
I'm saying, oh man, I cannot wait, man.
Are we
that long.
Are we gonna get an IMAX limited release in the theaters?
I hope so.
I mean, I hope so.
Of Justice League or BVS?
Yeah. I mean, they want the business. They should be releasing it in IMAX limited release in theaters and the 4-part episodic series along with the 4-hour HBO Max release.
Right. What's going to happen in the 4 hours is they're going to have like a black card that comes up like end of part 1 or something that, and then it's just going to
a seven samurai style intermission.
Right. Like 5 years later or whatever, and then it comes back and they or something, and I don't know what's going to be on the cards, but it's going to be it's going to separate the 4 hours, so there should be 3 of them. But yeah, it kind of like, or hell, they even did it in the Inglourious Bastards, where it would like show the different chapters or whatever.
Right.
Yeah. So it's gonna be like that.
And Barcelona B says she agrees with Prime. Then people are going to want Cyborg to be in the Flash movie even more.
Right.
Exactly.
Well, see, not everybody knows.
Fire.
See, we all know that Ray Fisher said he is not going to work with Walter Hamada.
Yeah.
And that has nothing to do with the Flash movie or him being kicked off or not kicked off. I'm so sorry. He did not get fired. He did not get kicked off. They decided, hey, they have 2 scripts and they said, we're going to go this way.
Yeah.
They're going this direction. So he didn't get fired. He got benched.
Yeah.
And he's about to get up off the bench. But the thing is that we all know that this happened. But like your normal general audience, they have no clue what's going on behind this. For all they know, Cyborg is still in the film, or they don't even know that Cyborg is in the film. They'll find out when they see at the end of Justice League that Cyborg and Flash are both working together to get Flash.
Cyborg is responsible for helping Flash, get into Speed Force
because they're both trying to calculate and figure this out. And Flash needs Cyborg to get back, but the thing is, for it to work. And the thing is that yes, they wrote 2 scripts. I mean, they wrote more than that because they had Grant. Who was it that was writing?
Grant Morrison.
Grant Morrison, okay. And then they had the other one with the guy from Spider-Man Homecoming. I mean, they've had multiple Flash scripts. This is just the latest one. Unfortunately, it has Christina Hodson connected to it, but I'm sure that they have 2 different versions, one with Flash, one with Cyborg and one without. And they just said, okay, well, because of all this, we're going to act like little babies or bitches, and we're going to go move forward with this. So send Ray, an email or send him a letter and let him know that he's not going to be moving forward because they've already done pre-production on this. They already have, Ben Affleck, Michael Keaton's fitting, Ezra Miller's new Flash outfit fitting. They have everything that, the Batmobiles have been, assembled. The Tim Burton Batmobile. They already have everything ready for April. If they do get to, I think it's going to be in England. If they do get to film or start production, they already have everything ready to go. They just haven't made any official announcements. So normies don't know that this is happening yet.
Yeah.
And March happens before April. So you're going to get to see that movie. Yeah, there it is. Prime's got it.
Y'all see what they got? I never saw this until now.
Must have just put it up during the stream. Breaking news.
That's crazy, but they need to change that. It's supposed to say Zack Snyder's Justice League. They got to change that. It says director's cut, so they got to change that.
Yeah, they got to change that.
I'm wondering if that's going to continue to be what they do. If that's going to be what they decided on, because
it's like downplaying it right there, though.
Exactly.
They are. Brian, you're absolutely correct. They are downplaying this thing. There's not going to be any marketing
because nobody takes director's cut seriously.
It's going to be grassroots.
Exactly.
They are not putting any. Warner Brothers is not putting any money into marketing for this movie. It has to be word of mouth by us. For this thing.
You know what? Okay, so good thing that you said that, because I thought about this too. Because I was thinking, since this is the week, because they're about to, the trailer is coming out this month. I think it's going to come out next week.
Either next week or the week after. Yes.
And I would say, because I was thinking that they would actually put something or a TV spot, because promoting HBO Max at the Super Bowl, including Justice League with that.
Not just Justice League money into the Super Bowl. Not for
that's what I'm saying. But I'm thinking, like I was saying earlier, like I don't think they're going to put up the 2-3 million for a 30-second spot, or maybe a minute spot. They're probably not going to even do that.
Yeah.
No.
So what I'm saying is that when it's time to really, because they're, like I said, they're doing the marketing now. So you already see the T-shirts that's coming out. Like I said,
that's a lot. If anything, it'll be Godzilla. They will promote Godzilla at the Super Bowl. What's up, Mad Max?
What's up, Max?
What's up,
Max?
Max?
Even with that, and this is the thing, and Zach already said that he's going to have a countdown promotion before the trailer, and he's also going to have a promotion where it's going to be extremely hard. So whatever it is that he got going on with Warner Media, they got something going on what they're about to do. But this is going to be the key too. I'm thinking that, which is actually going to, this is what I was thinking when I got off of work today, is that the cast and crew, when they drop that trailer, all of them got to get on their social media. They got to put that up.
Oh yeah.
They're going to have to. They're going to have to put, the only one that's exempt from this is Ezra Miller. But everybody that has a social media account, they're going to have to put it up there.
Well,
they're going to have to.
I know Gala's going to put it up.
I know Gala,
Ray, and Jason.
Mo is going to do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mo is going to do it
without a doubt.
I think Ben going to do it too. I think Ben
and Henry will do it. Yeah. Everybody will do it. I don't see anybody not doing it, except for Jeff Johns, John Berg, and Walter Hamada.
Right, because with the promotion, with it being pushed, because like I said, now if it's not going to do anything with the Super Bowl, well, I'll be surprised if they do, especially HBO Max. Even though they're going to incorporate and show all their IPs on there, so that's probably the only thing that they would do.
Let me hit him up.
But going in all the way, because they're going to be doing this promotion all the way until, well, I'm going to say this, it's going to come out on March 20th, all the way to March 20th. It's going to be too much to just campaign.
You think they start doing spots and stuff like that on TBS?
Yeah, they're going to do TV spots.
Yeah, TBS probably, because the TBS has already been vocal about support.
Yeah.
Right. So with all the TV spots and everything that they're going to do and putting it out there, and I thought about, and I was thinking about this real hard. Like I said, all the major social media platforms, they already changed it. They already changed it to Zack Snyder's Justice League. So they're about to push this. It's about to get pushed very hard. So whatever it is that they're going to do, they got to put it out there.
But my problem is, if it sticks with that director's cut title, it's like they're hurting themselves. I mean,
right? That's. I think they're going to change that.
Because it's not a director's cut. Because a director's cut implies that it's just an extension of what came before, and it's not. It's a different film. So. Yeah. Hey Max, Max, you're more than welcome to jump on the stream if you'd like, buddy. The link is in the description as always.
I think when they start promoting it and stuff like that, they need to throw in, hey, based on the original vision of Zack Snyder's Justice League, things like that. The epic 4-hour original vision, stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and
make sure you're differentiating it between the crap jail we got a couple years ago. So,
and I think that I have an idea to get everybody together, because like I said, there's a lot of people that still don't know what actually happened. And I think a lot of people in the fandom, they should educate a lot of people to know exactly what actually happened pertaining to this, because it's going to be so many
Yeah.
people that's going to be so confused with it. Even if you make a 5-minute video or you put something out there to let people know exactly what happened and everybody join together so they will know what transpired. But like I said at the beginning of this stream, the beginning of this movie is going to set the tone. I'm going to tell you that right now. It's going to be completely different. It's going to set the tone.
Yeah,
And I
Wonder
think
Woman as the little girl on Themyscira doing the games. That is gonna be epic.
Well,
I'm joking. That's in Wonder Woman 84, man.
Wonder Woman.
No, it's gonna start off with Doomsday and Superman.
Yeah, I know.
I
Yeah,
liked it.
I know.
But yeah,
I saw Prime going. Wait a minute.
Yeah. So I mean, hey, I'm just ready. And like I say, we don't have long, man. We just don't. I mean, I'm just happy. That's all I can say. I think I'm just happy. I'm just real happy that this is about to happen. It's happen. I'm still shocked that it's about to happen. And we only want a month and a month, I'll say 2 months away. Not even that. So hey, well, I won't say too much because today is the 20th now. So I would say too much. March 20th is I believe it's going to be March 20th.
I'll give you guys an example. I'll give you guys an example how the casuals don't know. I'll give you an example of the casuals, right? My brother, right? Big Star Wars guy. We're all big Star Wars fans, right? He knows a lot, everything, but he does know some DC. But I had to inform him and let him know what the deal was with Zack Snyder all these years, right? He didn't even know. He's like, oh shit, really? That's what went on during that film. That's why that film had issues. It's like, that sucks. You know what I mean? So those are casuals that don't know all the behind the scenes stuff that occurred.
Exactly.
Crap,
Perfect
and how they
example.
treated him. And how they treated him. You know?
Right. So like that.
True.
That's why I said that a lot of people like I say, they're going to be confused. They got to be educated. Well, I don't want to say educated. They got to be informed.
Yeah.
They got to be informed on what actually transpired. And this right here on this HBO Max, they got to take that. They got to change that. My only thing is that
I don't think they're gonna. That's the problem. I think they're gonna stick with that, and like goes back to what we were saying earlier. They're trying to bury it, to downplay it. I wouldn't be surprised if at some point they make it a sub option of the Justice League movie. You'll click on that, and then in that in that subsection there'll be Justice League Director's Cut, like what they did with Dr. Sleep.
Well,
yeah. It's such a better cut of the film. Yes.
But I think they're going to change it because, like I said, they changed all the platforms, all the social media platforms. You got to remember, HBO Max is one.
They need synergy. Yeah.
Right. I think because HBO Max is worn by some Warner Media. It's not Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
So you don't have to worry about that. It's Warner Media. So I think they just
Barcelona B points out IGN leaked a March 20th date, then deleted it.
Yep, they sure did. And that's why I say.
So let's say it's March 20th. March 20th is exactly 2 months from tomorrow.
Yes.
So that's insane. That would be awesome if that turns out to be true. If it comes out earlier, that's great. But I'm satisfied if that's the date.
Right, because like I said, the 20th is a Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday.
March 20th is a Saturday. Now, the first, like I said, March 1st is Zack Snyder's birthday, but that's on a Monday. It's ludicrous to put it on a Monday. You're never going to put nothing on a Monday. That ain't happening. So if it's on a Saturday, they might back it up. It might come out on the 18th because that'll be a Thursday.
Yeah.
So if it come out on the 18th, it'll be for that weekend.
They're gonna give this at least a week before they release King Kong.
Yeah, that's what I would hope too.
Yeah, they're not going to release two films on HBO Max so close together. So they're going to move.
Yeah,
they're going to bump up Justice League at least a week before Kong drops.
That's what I think too.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
First.
Or you go March 13th.
Is that Kong?
Or March 13th?
No, 26th.
Kong's coming out on
26th.
Okay. 27th. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
26th.
Okay. So then, the 19th, 18th, and 19th, that sounds more feasible.
Yeah. Now, if they so happen to do it this way, like I said earlier, they might do it within the week of Zach's birthday and do it and pull it out on that weekend.
Yeah.
If you're looking at the calendar, Ryan, what is that week? Because Zach's, let me see, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
That's the 6th.
Friday would be the 4th.
Friday's the 5th.
Friday's the 5th?
Yeah.
So Friday's the 5th, they might do it that weekend. It'll be the 4th through the 6th, or the 5th through the 6th, whatever which day.
And that would essentially give it the separation that it needs from Godzilla versus Kong. Because like Ryan was saying, you don't want to have, you don't want to have that. You want to space it out a little bit. So
right. And even if it is on that day, that's why I said those 2 days are the only 2 days that will make sense, or that time frame. And now, when I'm thinking about it from a business perspective, Ryan said that, you don't want to put it the same thing. It makes more sense to put it on the first week of March, because you got the whole month before Kong comes out. You got the whole month.
Yeah, and I'm not saying Kong is gonna blow people's minds.
No, it's not. It's not.
I just rewatched King Kong with Samuel L. Jackson. I was like, and what's her name, Stargirl, and that was Captain Marvel, and oh my god, it was the only thing good about that was just the animation of Kong. Everything else was crap. I was like, oh my god, the only movie that I've liked so far.
You talking about Skull Island?
Yeah, Skull Island. I was like, what? Even Samuel L. Jackson wasn't that good. I was like, come on now.
And I just got done watching Godzilla, man. I really like
Godzilla was good.
Yeah,
King
Godzilla
of Monsters was not.
You didn't think the monsters was that good? I like the way they did the monsters.
It was kind of okay. The only thing I liked about that was the three-headed monster. The three-headed monster and Godzilla were the only, like Mothra I could care less. The other one, the volcano bird, I didn't care. But the other two, I was like, yeah, I dig it. I like the fight. I'm the only thing I care about with King Kong and Godzilla is watching the fight. But I hope that they release it in IMAX, because that's the way it's supposed to be experienced, because these things are larger than life. To watch it on TV, or hell, even on the computer, I think I'll be a little underwhelmed.
Oh, and before I leave out of here, I want to give everybody too, and I think that I remember this, is that March is going to be a very good month too, because I think now all the theaters, if everything is true, because Regal about to open up their theaters in March. So if Regal is going to open up their theaters in March, now that means now you got AMC, you got Cinemark, and now Regal is going to come back. That means now you're going to have more theaters and have more access. So you never know. We might get Justice League in theaters. We know it's going to be in IMAX. That's why Zach was flirting around trying to find out where he wanted to have it, in Hawaii, Los Angeles, where there was an IMAX theater, but he said it had to be warm. So it had to be a place where it was warm. That's what he said. So the only places that's warm that got IMAX right now is LA, California, and Hawaii right now. And I think Florida has one. I'm not. I know Florida got one. I just don't know where. I have to look it up.
Okay, well, you know what, Prime, don't leave yet, because I'm about to wrap things up right now. So I want to get, so I kind of want to get everybody's final thoughts here on all of this. Final thoughts on the show for tonight and all the great topics we covered. We'll start with you, Prime.
Oh, repeat the question. I'm sorry.
just final thoughts overall on all the stuff we talked about today.
Well, my final thoughts is that people look at this. It's like, don't pay attention to all these people that's putting out false rhetoric, putting out all these false narratives. Really do your due diligence to really look at get the proper homework, get the proper information, and then go from there. Or find people that are actually in the movement that are going to give you the proper information. Yeah. And on top of that, just get ready for a good time for entertainment. We finally getting what we're going to get for. What we fought for. And and the closer that it gets, the more anxiety that I'm getting. At this point, it didn't really hit me yet. So the closer it's getting to it, it's getting there. It's getting to that point. So that's my thing. Just just pay attention to the people that you're listening to, get the right information, and try to just close out all the other people and then go from there. Because it's all about unity now. The closer that it gets, because it's going to be an eruption. Once we see that first scene, it's going to be an eruption.
Because we're all going to be fighting and pushing for the same thing, which is the success of the Snyder Cut. Exactly. Brian, Master of None, your final thoughts on tonight.
Oh man, it's been a long day. I actually ended up quitting my job earlier today. So
oh wow,
it was either that or get
bold move
fired. Well, no, it wasn't intentional.
Either I quit or you fire me. I'll quit.
Yeah, pretty much. Right. Sell.
Yeah, sell. All right.
But so anyways, yeah, I mean, this has been nice. I kind of felt really bad after last night because I was really quiet and I didn't say anything. I didn't speak up and I just kind of ran away. So I do.
Oh man,
you kind of just
I don't know.
You kind of just push people and run away, huh?
Hey, do you remember
you pulled a Justice League Flash move.
Yeah. But I mean, and thank you, Ryan, for giving me an out last night. It was really good. But yeah, I mean, on the whole, I'm really excited. There's a little part of me that feels like the Snyder Cut's going to be a funeral, though, and I really hope that's not the case. Mm-hmm. So I will do my best to kind of put the word out there for people who wouldn't normally watch it, but put your eyes on it because. If you like what the Snyderverse has been thus far, if there's not enough support behind it, it will go away.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, and Cisco, your final thoughts? Any words, man? Thank you for joining this stream. This was the first time I had you on here. It was great, man. It was a pleasure to have you here.
Appreciate you guys having me on here. Thanks. I really appreciate that. I'm the rookie on here, but I'm not going to be too long. But I'm looking forward to it. I mean, if it was my choice, I want to see that Snyder Cut come out tomorrow. I'll just do it tomorrow. But I'm going to be anxiously watching what's going on. The machinations with Warner Brothers in the next month or two to see what's going on. Little moves here and there to see whether or not they truly are trying to cut it off at the knees. Snyder's vision at the knees and trying to set it up for failure instead of success. Either way. It's going to be their decisions that they're going to make is going to make or break them, right? So they better tread lightly, man. You either want to be in the Zack Snyder business and his talent and his creativity for content, or you don't, and that's going to be a big decision on them coming up in the next couple months.
Oh yeah, because Zach isn't going to be a free agent. He's already got that great deal with Netflix, like we've been pointing out. And and Ryan Zever-Fett, my good friend, it is always such a pleasure to have you here, man. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I thank everybody for listening, for watching. I loved it. This stream was really good. It was really, action packed. We covered so many topics, and I'm looking forward to doing the same thing next week. So I really appreciate it, and we'll be back next week with more of the ZodWriter Show. I thank all of you all for watching. I hope everybody has a great night. And March can't come here fast enough. Restore the Snyderverse. Good night, everybody.
No doubt.
Good night.